You're about to watch another exciting episode of the Dungeon Run. But did you know that you can actually be part of the adventure? Tune in live on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and you can make your voice heard and help determine the fate of our adventurers. Hope to see you there.
Greetings and welcome to The Dungeon Run, a live tabletop role-playing game where your interactions help tell the tale. I am Lord Ereban, the Keeper of Secrets, and I have brought these adventurers together and set them on an epic quest to decide the fate of the world. When they found my amulet, it gave them the key to unlock the mysteries of Ayn and allowed them to communicate with you, the Watchers of the Time Stream. Now you have the power to help or hinder them as you see fit. If this is your first episode, fear not. Our Dungeon Master will catch you up on everything you need to know to jump right in. And you can always watch past episodes by visiting our YouTube or listen to the audio version by searching for The Dungeon Run wherever you get fine podcasts. The Dungeon Run is made possible through the generous support of our patrons. Bonus shows, special content, and more is available when you become a supporter at patreon.com/thedungeonrun. And join the incredible Dungeon Run community by visiting the official, unofficial Discord at thedungeon.run/discord. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does make a difference. But now, sit back, relax, enter the world of Ayn, and let the dice roll!
Patrons, welcome to episode 111 of the Dungeon Run. 111! How cool is that? If this is your first episode, we're going to catch you up. I'm going to give you a summary of everything you need to know to jump right in the show right here, so do not worry. But first, I want to welcome you to the show, give you some updates. We're still waiting on Katie Michaels.
She's on her way. She'll be here momentarily. Yes.
So don't fear not. Katie will be part of our stream tonight.
Not on hotel Wi-Fi.
Not quite here yet. She's a very, very busy lady, which is awesome. Folks, I hope that you tuned in last week to this here Twitch channel / YouTube channel / all the other ways that you can watch this and listen to it, because we had an incredible debut of the brand new Dungeon Run show, Fortune and Fates. Tell me about it. Morgan, you were there. You were on the stream. Tell me about it.
I was there. Ron was there. Jessica was there. Gabe Hicks, our incredible DM, was there. Persephone Valentine and Kelly Lynn D'Angelo, our new players on Fortune and Fate, were incredible. And again, thanks so much to the community for coming out. It's one of life's great joys for me to see new people like get a taste of this community and how amazing it feels to be on this show. And it was chaos. It was episode 1. It's almost all chaos. Gabe and Team Force of Evil are getting along very well.
This worries me, Morgan.
Yeah, a little bit. But it was amazing, and we've got so much more cool stuff coming with Fortune and Fate. And yeah, it was is a lot of loose threads. It was like, wait. So it was kind of not sure where things were going. Ron's character is adorable. That was immediately apparent. Mm-hmm. And
As is Ron.
Yes. Which when Ron told me about his character, it was literally like, oh man, you're gonna break the internet. That's so cute.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Yeah, Gabe puts the master in Dungeon Master, and what a cool debut. Again, this will be an ongoing show. It has the potential to bring in all sorts of really cool guests, which is something that we've been wanting here on the Dungeon Run for a long time, to bring in new voices, new faces, new characters, player characters. And what a cool thing. So if you have not checked it out yet, don't let that continue. Fix that situation.
Get on it. The VOD's here on Twitch, and the VOD's already on our YouTube.
Right.
And the episode 2 will be coming very soon, so keep an eye out on your scheduling. We'll be announcing all those scheduling updates. It'll be on a more regular schedule going forward, but we've got some scheduling updates
Also
coming.
very much appreciated if you watched.
Thank you, Red Wigglebottom.
Hey, I'm just doing my job.
How dare you name a character Wigglebottom?
and it's not a gnome either.
It's not a gnome.
Not a
Yes.
gnome.
Or
Well,
a halfling.
yeah, right.
Maybe.
How does Simic hybrids start? Anyway, whatever.
What else we got going on, Ron? I know the merch store going strong. Everything's rocking and rolling over there.
Everything's great. We've got more hoodie, more of the beanies have now gone out of
So
stock.
good.
And other ones have now come in stock. So make sure the beanies are really, really popular across all of the merch, but
Rightfully
especially
so.
ours. So,
Rightfully so.
make sure you guys check that out. We'll be having some additions probably in the next couple of weeks. Please forgive me. I did a lot of work, do a lot of work for this stuff. I promise you I'll get us some more merch out there soon.
Never apologize.
The only possible explanation for the beanie shortages is the beanie model is so incredibly
Man.
alluring.
I got to be honest. I don't know how it's snowing with how hot the model is. You know?
I mean, it's a
the-
snow brag. It's a real snow brag that Jeff can
Beanie
actually
models
find snow.
The companion show to the Dungeon Run is called the Dungeon Cooldown.
Woo.
It is a timed exclusive to our patrons at patreon.com/the Dungeon Run. Jared, last week we had our new DM Gabe was on with you.
Yeah. We could
How
have
did that
easily
go? I didn't
talked
have a chance to
for
watch it
6
yet.
hours. I mean,
boy,
Gabe has I mean, he's also just a lovely human being in general.
Amazing.
Just very caring, very kind, very warm, very open. So there's like a sinister side to him too, but on the cooldown, I think Morgan and I got a lot more of nice guy Gabe than when he's in his DM mode. But one of the things that really blew me away about Gabe is just how much stuff he's worked on. Like his resume is long to the point where I asked him to just send me his resume so I could just read parts of it as opposed to mention every single thing. But he's also got some new projects that he's working on right now under NDA that are going to be coming out that are also very cool and very exciting. And hopefully he can share some of that stuff with us when it gets released.
Yeah.
But he
So
he writes for a lot of RPGs as well as runs RPGs as well as plays in RPGs. So he's
What
a
it gets.
versatile dude.
What it gets. We're so privileged to have the involvement of so many talented folks. It is really, really cool. Again, check that out. Check out the Patreon for bonus cool stuff like that, like interviews, bonus content. We have secrets from the cast.
45-minute solo chat with me about episode 110 that I'm almost ashamed of. It's so long.
I'm gonna watch that.
Literally, I started. So this is getting personal. I started at 12:30 a.m. I started it, and I just kept talking because I don't know if you watched episode 110. I assume everyone here did. But if you watched episode 110, there was a lot to talk about.
Nah.
Once I got started, it was hard to stop.
It started as a simple recording of a cast secret.
Then it never ended. Because Morgan is
until your
that
wife
guy.
gets up and is like, "What are you doing? Come to
That
bed."
definitely almost
Who
happened.
are you talking to? No one and everyone
one,
all at
yeah.
the same time.
Jake from State Farm.
Awesome. So
wearing
again,
khakis.
those are perks that you can get by supporting the show at patreon.com/the Dungeon Run. You can also support the show live here on Twitch. If you're watching us live, you can support the show by purchasing cool digital items, including advantages and disadvantages for all the cast members and myself that play out during the course of our session. And you also can purchase our potatoes and yams and balloons for the two different teams, the Team Force of Good and Team Force of Evil. There is an ongoing tug of war between those two teams. And whichever team comes out triumphant at the end of the episode unlocks a card based on their team in the following episode. Last week's episode
2 weeks
was
ago.
a crushing victory, just a total runaway blowout by Team Force of Evil.
Student of Grimm. Student of Grimm.
Student of Grimm.
Everybody. I just taking the ball and running away with it.
Records were broken.
Yeah.
Shattered,
Yes.
as Lily would say.
And that has unlocked a Force of Evil card in this episode,
Great.
which I will summarize now. These cards,
Let's not tell Katie when she gets on. Just don't tell her.
these cards, that's not my card. These cards are submitted by fans like yourself who go to our website and fill out the form. You could submit a card for Team Force of Good or Team Force of Evil. And we have so many awesome submissions. This one that I have selected for tonight's session is a Force of Evil card that was submitted by Dude the Man.
Hey.
It is called the Anti-Magic Planes. And it goes like this.
I don't like that.
During this session, when a player casts a spell,
No.
they must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take a level of exhaustion.
Whoa.
No!
The save DC is 10 plus the spell's level.
Oh, dude, what?
Whoa.
But here's the kicker. Once a player fails a saving throw in this way, they are no longer affected by the card.
Okay. I was about to say 6 failures and you're dead. And I was
Say,
like,
that's the first FOE that might kill us. Okay, got it.
And all of us are spellcasters now.
Wow. Kinda.
Jared, sort of.
You got spells?
You got spells.
Runes
Being a
don't
wizard?
count as spells, actually.
Yeah, they don't, but
Really?
yikes.
Nope.
Dude,
Well,
the
what do you find
man.
familiar?
That is...
Yeah, I guess if I lose Mr. Whispers and want to summon him again, I could take a level of exhaustion. Or I could
Fishing
just
hammer.
wait.
Worth it.
Lose him
Worth it.
6 times. Dude, the man. That is kudos, I guess.
And
Yeah.
you can submit your own force card by going to thedungeonrun.tv/force cards.
Way to go,
So
Jess.
good, so
Way
easy.
To go,
It's
Jess.
like I should remember it every week. And yet,
Nailed it. 111 episodes. We'll get this. We'll get this eventually.
exactly.
Hey, the force cards is new.
That's true.
The URL.
I love that vanity URL though. It's so easy to remember. Even an idiot like me can remember it. Okay, Jessica,
Yes.
let's check in with those wonderful Twitch folks. What's happening over there? in
You
the
know
in the
what?
chat.
I'm over here on Twitch. I'm over here on hotel Wi-Fi, but I was still able to pull up everything that's been going on in chat and all of the amazing support we've been getting. So I'm gonna start from the beginning. We got some cheers from Numera and Angel
Yay.
Devilson. Another cheer from Angel Devilson. Lots of resubscriptions. I'm seeing a lot of subscriptions with Prime. You can do that for free. If you don't know how, the information is in our About panels below. A Jar Full of Bees gave out a community sub. Goofus McDorkle with 10 community gift subs. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Tuamask with 5 community gift subs. Huge, two massive cheers from Goofus McDorkle. So thank you so much. Just Jules, we got a raid from Just Jules. Hi Raiders. If it's your first time here, welcome into the stream, and we hope you have fun playing Dungeons and Dragons with us. And a huge cheer from A Jar Full of Bees. Numera with another cheer. Fireness with a cheer. Hadrian with a huge cheer. Carson with a cheer. Witchspace giving out 10 community gift subs. Witchspace is always coming in at the last second
Always.
with those community gift subs. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Witchspace. And then
Thank you.
another big 10 gift community subs from Goofus McDorkle. So thank you so much.
Crushing it.
So
Thank you,
wonderful.
everybody.
Thank you all. All right. I think that's all we needed to get everybody caught up. So let's light the torch. It started as a simple dungeon run, but it has become nothing short of complicated. There is nothing simple about where these 5 adventurers find themselves now, inside the capital of the Dragonborn Empire, having learned information that has been kept secret for 300 years. The Queen of the Shaxen Gao, kept alive by magical means, sequestered alone in an empty chamber, waited to tell them the story of Ain's Aureate Age, a time of incredible technological and cultural advancement, thanks to the ingenuity of a blue elf named Onivrius the Keen. Onivrius was a prodigy, a brilliant thinker whose work led to the creation of the most powerful object the world has ever known, the Urn of Invention, a culmination of the most advanced learnings in science, art, engineering, history, and magic. The urn allowed anyone to turn their grandest ideas into reality, to create anything their mind could conceive, provided they fed the urn enough raw energy. For the universe is in constant balance, influx and outflux, order and entropy. Nothing can exist without something else ceasing to exist. But place a powerful enough force into the urn, and the possibilities were limitless. As a result, Ain flourished with unprecedented prosperity and progress. But Onivrius, having mastered the art of creation, began to think of himself as more than a mere mortal. He yearned to ascend to godhood, to join the pantheon as an equal, to become a god. But the other gods ignored him. They rejected his aspirations and refused to acknowledge his ascendance. So, to get their attention, he brought the world to war. He used the urn to manifest unfathomable tools of destruction, visiting his wrath upon every corner of Ain. Faced with annihilation at the hands of Onivrius the Maker, the Empire banded together. They used their own urns to fight back, to forge their own violent creations, and wage a war of ideas. With such calamity and killing, it was only a matter of time before Onivrius got what he wanted, an audience with Naz Qualthet, the god of death. And a bargain was struck. If Onivrius could prove himself, if he could make an offering personal and profound, Naz Qualthet would allow him to stand shoulder to shoulder with the gods as a peer. So, Onivrius turned on his own people. He cursed the blue elves with subjugation and agony, sundering the very ground they walked on. He pulled them low and trampled on them for his own gain. In a single supernatural act, he eliminated the blue elves, transforming them into the drow, a species whose devotion could fuel his divinity. Faced with the reality of Onivrius's godhood, the Shaxen Gao queen resorted to drastic measures. She knew the only force potent enough to combat a god lay in the heart of the mighty chrono dragon Nonezaron. Though an alliance with the beast was at the very core of the Dragonborn's history, the queen and her 5 most trusted warriors chose to betray that bond and murder the dragon, to feed its heart into the urn and forge a weapon capable of defeating Onivrius the Omnipotent. Long Shi Sin, the Godslayer blade. In addition, they used the dragon's eyes to create 2 amulets, each with the ability to peer through time, one looking backward and the other forward. But they did not stop there. To ensure the world would never face a foe as powerful as Onivrius again, they set about eliminating all knowledge of the urn and how to make it. They wiped out the accumulated progress of their culture, erasing their own history and scrubbing the memories of everyone alive. Then, they used the energy of godhood itself, the divine essence harvested from Onivrius the Omnipotent, to transform the 5 champions of the Aureate Age into Wardens, towering 100-foot-tall guardians who could serve as a ubiquitous, worldwide surveillance system to ensure no one would ever gain the ability to forge an urn of invention ever again. The Wardens lay in wait, protecting the land for 300 years until the inevitable march of progress led the wisest minds back to the point of being able to create a new urn. Then they would do it again, erase knowledge and knock the world back to blissful ignorance, ensuring another 3 centuries of peace. But there was a problem. As the 300th year approached, a group of Ain's best and brightest banded together to overtake the Wardens. A cabal led by a spellcaster known as the Ashen Mage capitalized on the enduring enmity of the dragons, still angry from the murder of Nonezeron. She forged an alliance to capture the Wardens and extract the essence of godhood that had been used to create them. With the Wardens out of the way, the cabal could reclaim the progress and knowledge that had been wiped out by the Empire and use it for their own gain. When our heroes stumbled upon one of the powerful amulets forged from the Chrono Dragon's eyes, it revealed to them parts of their lost history. Each time they brought the amulet into contact with a Warden, they were transported into the past to live out memories hidden inside the Warden's minds, moments wiped from their consciousness by intellect devourers under the command of Lord Ereban, the Keeper of Secrets. As the heroes of Bingle tracked down the Wardens and battled members of the Cabal, it became clear that the Ashen Mage and her allies did not know the entire story themselves. They had managed to gain possession of an urn of invention, but were not yet using it to its full potential. Atop the volcano known as Sky Scorcher Peak, the heroes saw a member of the Ashen Mage's Cabal turn on her, smashing the urn and unleashing a massive explosion. The resulting shockwave caused strange and terrible creatures to appear across the land, demons that assaulted the cities and the towns of Ain with merciless rage. It appeared these creatures were connected to the Void, a dark abyss anchored to Ain through a pair of rifts on either end of the world. Mysterious entities lurked in this abyss, including James's own warlock patron, Shothrogot. Though Shothrogot continued to grant James more arcane power, it also exacted a toll on him, slowly twisting his body into a demonic form. The heroes raced to find the Quake Warden before the Ashen Mage could. They found it buried deep below an uncharted region in the northwest, where it had been in self-imposed exile after learning about its previous life from the one Warden that had refused to have its memories wiped, the Cyclone Warden. Great pains had been taken to erase all record of the 5th Warden from history, and the Cyclone Warden's whereabouts were still unknown. But the Quake Warden believed that it too had sought solace from the weight of its own memories, and feared it had taken drastic measures. Hearing the Queen of the Shaxen Gao reveal her plan for 3 more centuries of peace, one thing became clear. The heroes of Bingle were the only ones with the information and ability to determine the way forward for Ain. With the Ashen Mage consolidating elements of godhood from 3 of the Wardens, a mounting war between orcs and dwarves, and a mysterious threat looming from beyond the Void, the world was in crisis. But the heroes of Bingle also faced a crisis of a much more personal nature. Fahima's father, Conroy Tig, appeared to be in peril. Missing for months, the wizard had also sought the aid of Lord Ereban. The Keeper of Secrets had provided his service to Conroy, keeping a secret too burdensome to carry on his own. A secret, it seems, that has very much to do with Fahima herself. As we ended last week, Li Fen, the Queen of the Shaxen Gao, told the heroes of Bingle that the royal palace of the Dragonborn Empire housed a portal that led directly to Ereban's lair. A portal controlled by the ruler of the Shaxen Gao, Princess Suyin Laolong. What will they do next? How will they bear the responsibility of the fate of the world? Find out as episode 111 of the Dungeon Run begins now. All right.
Pressure.
Was hoping Katie would be here in time, but she's not.
She's
shall,
very close from the sound of it.
We always make really good decisions when Lily's not around. So I don't.
Yeah, right.
I
What
don't
could
know
go wrong? What could possibly go wrong?
I don't know what everyone's so worried about.
We shall forage ahead without her.
It'll be just like the Knick Knack of Doom,
which went so great.
So you have been dismissed from the Queen's chamber.
James would like to, if we're being ushered out. I'm sorry, one more thing.
You see her, she's sort of dozing already. You know, she said she was quite tired.
Madam, Your Highness.
Yes.
When everyone forgot 300 years ago, I'm curious. Did they remember each other? You said they've forgotten culture, science, history. It was all connected. It all needed to go. But what about friends, loved ones, community? What happened?
Most of that had to be rebuilt as well.
I thought so. It's not like you can exactly cleanly dissect one from the other.
If only we could have made more precise removals of information. Things may have been easier.
It's all tied
We
together,
were faced with a difficult proposition.
Culture, history,
James.
science, knowledge.
James.
These are the things that make us people.
We should go.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. The double doors at the end of the chamber open. These are the same doors from which you entered. And they are pulled open by a pair of hooded, monk-like dragonborn with weapons on their hips. I do need to take one moment and say we got some potatoes. Forgot to do that before we started. There's a number of them, and I'm very grateful.
Amazing.
CJo225
Thank you.
says this is their first live episode.
Hey,
Welcome,
Cijo.
CJo.
Ow! I
hope
think
that's-
I feel like I saw in the Discord they'd binged 110 episodes in like 3 months, which
Achievement
Ow.
unlocked.
I
Achievement unlocked.
just wow.
Wow.
Welcome to the live show. I hope you're enjoying it. Goofus McDorkle with 2 golden potatoes.
Thank you,
Sweet.
Goofus.
A team force of
Goofus.
good.
Crushing it. Thank you.
Goofus.
Baby Librarian with a golden potato. Baby Librarian. Do.
Doesn't quite work as well.
Kai Buck with a golden potato. Thank you, Kai Buck.
Hey, welcome back, Kai Buck.
Old standby name. City Racing Girl with a golden potato.
Thank
And-
you.
Thank you, City Racing Girl. And our third potato from Goofus McDorkle. Incredible. Thank you,
Nice.
Goofus.
Force of
Amazing.
good.
So that's
Wow.
all Force of Goods, which means the current Force War standings are Force of Good 100%.
Whoa!
Wow.
Coming in
Swing
hot.
back.
It always starts that way, and then by the end of the show, Team Force of
Don't
Evil
say that.
creeps in.
All right, so the doors open and you walk out into the hallway, this nondescript corridor that you had entered through. And as you walk into the corridor, another figure approaches from the other end. He is a tall, broad dragonborn with rusty orange scales, solidly built and wearing distinct armor, emblazoned with medallions. He holds his shiny helm under his arm formally. This is clearly a high-ranking military official. He walks up to you. Princess Suyin has been informed of your walking statue. She has granted you an audience in the morning. In the meantime, we will see to your accommodations. Lodging has been arranged inside the palace. Under no circumstances are you to leave your room until summoned. The princess's grace will not extend to troublemakers. Nameless few will guard your door to ensure your safety and compliance. Should you require any food or comfort items, simply knock on your door and they will be provided. Violate any of our rules, and our response will be swift and decisive. He nods, turns on his heel, and marches straight back from whence he came.
Do you want us to tell Zhang Lao Long not to rip your city apart? Might be a good thing if I go out there and speak with him briefly.
He stops and looks back. He has been informed that your audience with the princess has been granted. He remains motionless as stone.
Thank you.
The officer departs, and the monks, the dragonborn in hoods, the nameless few, guide you down long, plain halls. They're on either side of you, and you go through this maze of winding corridors.
Is it open air? Is it possible to see?
No.
You're all right.
Quite underground, actually.
Got it. Okay.
But you finally arrive at a staircase, and climbing the stairs brings you up into a very different kind of decor. It is clear that you had been in the bowels of the palace, deep below the main floors. As you ascend, you arrive into much more opulent surroundings. Gilded banisters and tall ceilings with ornately crafted details everywhere you look. Beauty and excess meant to convey the immensity of the Empire's power and reach. You make it to an upper floor where large framed portraits of austere dragonborn hang from the walls. Hints of blue marble against golden inlay, the colors of the Shaxen Gao. All of it stunning to behold. Finally, you are brought to a pair of white doors with pearl handles. They open into a large suite with several connected rooms. Fruits and fine wines are laid out on marble tables. A cushioned chaise lounge waits in the center area, which is ornamented with tall silver-framed mirrors. The accommodations look extremely comfortable. Without a word, your monk escorts turn, exit the room, and close the doors behind them. You hear a distinct click of the lock.
A prison made of gold is still a prison.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
Although
I'd be
we
scared
could
of us
ask
too.
for something that might make it a little bit more comfortable.
You mean?
I don't know. Entertainment. Some
I
sweet.
mean, it all looks pretty comfortable.
I think I just need some time.
I'm gonna go over to the door and just kind of like peer out through the keyhole, or if there's like a way I can just kind of check to see what's going on. Like, how many monks are just outside of our door?
All right, so first of all, we have another potato that came in from Guy Vox. Thank you, Guy
Ooh,
Vox.
Thank you.
Very generous. Again, 100% for Team Force of Good.
Wow.
Civ, you can roll me a perception check. You have advantage from past my bedtime.
Past my bedtime.
Jeff, are there any windows in this place?
Not in this room. It is definitely a suite that sort of seems to be in the center of the building. You know,
You
So
got to
it
pay
wouldn't be-
extra for the nice views. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. This is, what do they call it on a cruise ship? What do they
The
call it?
inner
Courtroom?
suite or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Stateroom?
Yeah.
17.
So you hunch down and peer through the tiny keyhole. Your view is limited by the angle of the keyhole, but it is clear that there are at least two guards outside the door, and the hallway extends, from whence you came. It's possible that there are more that you can't see.
I'm going to crack the door open and lean out, Excuse me.
Well, the door's locked. The door's locked.
I will pick the lock and lean out.
Roll initiative.
Yeah. You're gonna pick the lock?
Yeah.
All right. Roll a sleight of hand. You have advantage from Ashjor, countered by Digital Realm.
I will re-roll because I rolled 2 dice. Same dice. That would be a 18, 28, 29.
29. All right. So you hear the click of tumblers in your paws, and you're fairly certain that the door is now unlocked. We just got a bunch of yams.
Oh, see, there it is.
They are from the Metallurgist 1, who also says it's their first live show.
Nice.
Wow.
What's up,
Metallurgist 1.
Thank you.
It's growing in number here. It is not 1, it is not 2, it is not 3.
Whoa.
It is not 4. It is
Metallurgist.
not 5. I'm looking at 10 evil yams
Whoa.
from our first live
what?
show appearance by the Metallurgist.
Holy whoa.
Dang. He obviously learned how to turn lead into gold.
He
or
or
something.
she or they. Thank
I gotta
you,
get into this
Metallurgist.
Metallurgist business.
Yeah, really.
Wow.
So
you.
that brings us to Team Force of Good, which, as you'll recall, was just at 100%. Team Force of Good now at 45%.
Whoa.
Team Force of Evil,
Dang.
55%.
Thank
We
you.
didn't even get to intermission.
I believe you had that, Jared. I believe
Yeah.
you called that one.
Yeah.
All right, so they made it very
yeah.
clear that you were not to leave the room, but you said you could.
Unless
knock
I
on the
needed
door.
to ask for something. Yeah.
They said knock on the door. They told you
Okay.
specifically knock on the
I'll
door.
knock on the door when I open it.
All right.
Knock, knock.
Excuse me. I was wondering if I could request something.
As the door opens, you see Dragonborn monks turn and face you shocked.
We were told that we could request anything, and I would like to take a bath. Is there any way I could get some hot water brought up?
There's
Would you please?
a sideways glance as they look at each other, and then a nod, and then the door is slowly pressed shut, and you hear that click of a lock, and then you hear like a scooting sound of something.
Well,
Excuse
I
me.
need some
Excuse me.
soap,
Excuse
too.
me.
Yes.
You were
Mister,
awfully quiet there
could you-
for a while.
Just because I wasn't in the room, I just came in when I got stuck in those double doors. When the monks closed it, my vest got stuck,
I'm
and
sorry.
no one even noticed. And
I'm
then the
so
serious
sorry.
guy was
I've
talking,
been-
and I.
No, my mind got away from me after that last. I'm sorry. Please come in.
Thank you. This
Katie,
is
the Heroes of
nice.
Bingle have been escorted into very lovely accommodations.
I've been
within-
listening.
Oh, you have. Okay, good. Okay, good.
Welcome to the prison.
This is a nice prison, honestly.
A
This is a
prison
nice
made of gold is still a prison.
I would say this is
Okay.
probably the nicest place we've ever stayed, though, Ugo. So maybe
Correct.
we
It
can...
is the nicest place I've been
Right.
imprisoned.
A lot better than the Turles prison, that's for sure.
Yes. That I would know.
I wasn't gonna say it.
I mean, I was there for a little while.
Were you?
I'm just gonna start casing the joint. So walking around the room, seeing.
Yeah, you
what's-
notice, there are a number of rooms with a number of beds in them. There seems to be an interconnected suite that has a sort of a central area with that chaise lounge, with some mirrors, with a sitting area with marble tables and some of that fruit. And then each section off of it has a number of rooms. There seems to be plenty of room for each of you to have your own, should you desire. It is spacious, but it has only one exit, and that is from which you entered. And as
Any
you're
gold
walking
leaf?
around, Civ, there's a knock on the door, and it opens, and there are monks holding pails with steaming water, and they walk in and bring them to a basin that is in one of the rooms, and they fill the basin, this large porcelain tub, with steaming hot water, and then leave, and the door closes again, and you hear that
Actually,
sliding
excuse
sound.
me, I seem to have forgotten my soap. Do you have anything with lavender or maybe some nice smelling salts?
There's a nod, and then
Potpourri.
leave. Jared's messing with the help.
Well, it is the help that tried to kill us the last time we saw them, so I get it.
I mean, 22 years ago.
Wait,
who
it's not the
remembers?
same guys, probably. No, those guys are. Maybe not.
Probably the same guys.
Those guys didn't survive. They're at the bottom of the deep.
That's true.
True. Did not go well for them.
No, it's not.
Did you notice the gold leaf on the mirrors? I think that's real gold leaf. Did you see that? I wonder if it would fit inside the bag of holding.
Fahima's sitting in a corner, quietly and writing in her journal, note-taking everything that took place with the queen, and she's just keeping to herself.
James has probably found a couch and is just sitting there thinking.
Lily's
Ago
also
does push-ups.
Lily's
Angry push-ups.
Lily is also casing the joint, but just in the food sense. So she's like trying every single food with one bite.
They are delicious. They are clearly finely crafted and consisting of top tier ingredients. You're impressed.
Yeah.
Is there anything the Dragonborn are known for, food-wise?
I don't think so. I don't think that that's in particular something that you would know. I think that, they clearly, this is the royal palace. So
Right.
here, I mean, everything would be
Accessible.
top tier. Yeah, there's nothing in particular I think you would be aware of.
James thinks of something and actually starts ritual casting Detect Magic.
Okay.
Lily, do you want first go, or do you mind if I get in?
In the bath?
Yes.
Oh, go for it.
I mean, technically, shouldn't you go last?
Well, probably, but...
Yeah, you got a lot of hair on your body.
Yes, and I have quite a bit of dirt from the Quake
Yeah, it's
War.
because you have hair all over your body.
Right.
I mean,
That's a good point.
presumably we could all have our own bath with fresh water. It seems like this is a
Like one big bath together?
No, I mean separately.
Oh,
I think what you're thinking of is a hot tub.
yes. Like in Orklands in Thorn, like a
Hot spring?
hot spring. Yeah, make day of it.
Yes. I guess my point is, I think you can go ahead and bathe, and then if it's too dirty, we can get more water.
All right. Suit yourself. And he grabs a couple dates and tosses them in his mouth, and then he beelines
All the
it
food is
for
good, by the way.
tub.
I've tried all of it.
That is such a waste of water.
Well, it's more
Civ
sanitary.
is taking off his armor. Trying to get as much of the dirt and mud and blood out of his fur before he gets into the bath.
Licking himself.
No, that's afterwards.
All right.
You're
you
welcome
hear,
to join if you'd like, Lily.
I thought we were all having our own bath. I didn't realize we were
Lily
going to be
has
together.
so many
Kima looks up from her
croissants in
book.
her mouth.
That breaks Behemoth's concentration.
Spell fail.
Yeah. She's still pointedly looking at between Lily and Ziv, eyes wide open.
Civ steps into the bath, and all of you hear the water splash over the sides as it overflows.
Nice.
Lily? Yeah? Are you dirty?
I don't,
Do you need a bath?
Fahima, I don't really feel like this is the place.
For
You're
taking a
all
bath?
here. No, together?
Just I think Ziv only invited you.
I know, together.
Yes. I know.
You know we're all here, right?
Yeah, that's my point.
Ziv's not in here though, right? He went into the bath.
Yeah,
He's right there. The bath is right there.
But they didn't close
He's
the
not in
door.
the same room.
It's very nice.
Okay. I don't know, but just are you what we have things
What?
we could be doing. What if you're just
You
taking a
haven't
bath together as
completed-
friends?
You haven't completed any sentences, Fahima.
I think it's appropriate. to take
think it's
baths together as friends who are very close to each other.
Oh. Do you want to take a bath with Civ?
Oh no, I'm not dirty.
I do. Get it. Move over, Civ.
All right, Civ moves over.
More water splashes over the side.
It's very warm in here.
I mean, it's a
Wait,
wonder
how
it
big
hasn't
is this
happened before,
bathtub?
really, to be honest.
Big enough. It's big.
You have a lot of scars, Civ.
I do, yes. They're usually hidden underneath fur until it gets wet like this.
You can see I have many too.
Yeah. What's that one from?
Oh. Fight. Almost
Well,
died.
yes. Well, yes.
Was hand axe fight to prove that I had not lied.
Oh. Is that
Yeah,
sort
he
of
did
like
not
scissor
live.
fighting?
Sure.
Hmm.
More like hand axe and skull fight. Over very quickly.
I bet.
Yes.
Do you miss Thorn?
That is a complex question.
Why?
I miss Thorn, but I also do not miss Thorn.
What do you miss?
Autumn. Colors in the trees. The smell on the winds of fall. I miss the people. Not all of them were evil.
I liked Girk.
Civ, have you thought of taking statue to Oldswatch?
Of course. I said as much.
I'll wants very badly to take him to Ukdun. Argo knows it's wrong. All of these squabbles now seem so futile.
You and I both know what war does.
And what
Is there-
forgetting does.
As they're saying this, they're both just their heads above the water. Right.
Could you pass me the lavender soap,
6
please?
inches from the
Slides it over.
Never had lavender before. It smells nice.
Civ grabs some flowers nearby and crushes them in his hands and then sprinkles them on the water because it probably doesn't smell that pleasant right now with the two of us looking in it.
We've been on the road for a very long time.
Yeah,
Good point.
can't remember the last time we took a bath.
In the other room, Fahima whispers, James, Lily, what do we think about the Queen not knowing about... sorry, James, are you... Okay.
One moment.
I'm listening.
What do we think about the Queen not knowing about the child?
One moment, please.
We're not talking to you, James.
No, but please just refrain from talking about that for one moment.
He really wants to just join in on the chat, I think. He doesn't want to be left out.
No, I
But you can't
promise.
concentrate and also have all conversations.
As detect magic kicked off, Jeff.
Yeah. As you open your eyes and look around, looking for any auras that would be distinctive of the different schools of magic, you peer around the suite, and it is pretty clear that nothing in here is setting off your sense of magical.
All right, now we can talk
Energy.
about that. Sorry.
Oh, now that you've joined the conversation, James?
No,
I
I'm
know.
trying. I was trying to
Have a
make
picture
sure
of
that.
that, don't you?
I'm just
I
kidding.
just wanted to be sure that we weren't being listened to. I'm very sorry.
Oh,
Yes, I was actually greatly surprised that she didn't know about that.
Yes.
Well, what did she say specifically? She said
She said
they didn't have a
specifically.
child. Well, she said they didn't have a child
she said,
together.
thank goodness. they
She
didn't
said,
have a
"Thank
child."
goodness Onivrius did not have a child."
But that leaves the explanation that perhaps Osira was not the child of Onivrius and Marisis. Perhaps she was the child of
That's
Marisis and someone else.
possible, but I don't know.
What would make it so she wouldn't know?
Well, we've seen Osira taken away by Aarakocra. This is the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Osira get taken away by Aarakocra, and when we asked the queen about the Aarakocra, her answer was sort of, I don't know, who cares? It wasn't that exactly, but there didn't seem to be much emphasis on the Aarakocra. I got the sense that she didn't. Her answer was so casual, it made me think she didn't know what part the Aarakocra had to play.
Well, additionally, it does. She has the amulet that can see the future.
Right.
Granted, it can't see past this point in time, but you'd think it would, if Osira was someone of importance, someone who grew up in the 300 years, became something, you'd think she would have seen her, unless she was very hidden by powerful magic. But magic that could fool the amulet seems impossible. We've seen the power of our own amulet.
I don't believe anything's impossible anymore.
No. I don't know what the truth is, but I think we know that Osira was protected by the Aarakocra, and something tells me that if Osira had fallen prey to Anivris's curse and become a drow, I think we'd know that.
How?
Because I feel like it would have created a bigger shockwave. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is an assumption.
Oh no.
But the child of Mirasis...
Oh no. What if... No!
What?
No! What if the curse, the curse of the Blue Elves, what if it lives on because of Osira? Because she exists. She's his blood.
Possible.
And the only way to return the elves to their previous situation is doing something about that.
Fahima, I'm just going to say something, and I don't know how you're going to react.
Do you have to say it?
Yes, it's not mean. I don't... We know that Osira was given to the Aarakocra. We know that your father spent time in Pash with the Aarakocra for some time.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that after leaving Pash and going back to Axbright, that your father protected you as if you were the greatest secret in the world.
But I'm not 300 years old, James.
No. But...
all of that does line up. Admittedly, yes, I have thought about it myself, but the 300 years is quite the gap.
But you're not a blue elf either.
No.
So...
And I'm no Anivrius kin.
Well...
What's that supposed to mean?
If there was some sort of... I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you are. I certainly wouldn't...
Well, he was quite smart, I suppose.
But I'm simply saying that we don't know. We know that a wish was involved in your creation, yes? At least that's what we've heard and what we've been told.
It's what the prophecy said, and it's what my dad has said.
We just don't know what that wish was, exactly.
Wish for lots of things.
Yes. What if that wish was to disguise Osira as a small girl with red hair? I don't know. I've just been told more information than maybe anyone can probably process in a short amount of time, but this is one of the things I'm thinking.
Sir, do you want me to wash your back?
I thought you'd never ask, actually. I can't reach this area right here.
Absolutely. Just make sure you get mine too when I'm done with yours. Okay?
Sure. Deal is a deal.
You want me to use nails and scratch you a little?
Well, I thought they'd bring us a brush. It's rather rude of them not to. But you
I
know
have
what?
hands.
Yes. Fine. Go for it. Yes.
All right.
Turns around.
God.
Lots of soap. lots of soap.
I have to. You have so much hair.
Thank you.
By the way, Jeff, ritual casting probably does count as a casting a spell, so the force of evil probably kicks in for me, yes?
Okay, yes. Plus, we have a couple of gold potatoes that I wanted to mention. One
Yay.
from Red Robin 1972. The other is another
Red Robin.
from Cjo 225. Cjo!
Cjo!
Guess what, folks? That takes us to Team Force of Good, 50%.
Whoa.
Team Force of Evil, 50%. It's a
Eyeball
dead
game.
Wow. That was very unexpected,
I know.
given the strong start.
heat. Indeed.
So it's do I have advantage or just it's a con saving throw, you said, yes?
On saving throw, yeah, I'll let you use your advantage. You have advantage from Hadrian X, countered by Grim Fated.
And it's a first level spell because it's detect magic, so DC is 11.
Yes.
I'm not very good at con saving throws, so 13.
All right.
Yes.
There you go. All right.
But now I still have to keep rolling until.
Yes.
Oof. Okay.
Jeff, I have a question.
Yeah.
As Uggo is scrubbing Siv's back, is his skin also blue?
Yes.
You're
in
blue all
fact-
the way to your skin.
You know, he matted wet. I don't know if you've ever seen Civ quite like that. He's, you know, much skinnier than you thought.
Lithe. I prefer lithe.
Well, I don't want you to lie to me anymore, so don't lie. I actually know what that means, so I'm sorry. I just couldn't help myself.
No, it's all right. Do you think I should trim my nails? And Civ shoots out one of his claws.
Do you? How often do you use them as weapons?
Very rarely. I usually use daggers or scimitar.
And I wish I had
or-
tiny daggers in my fingertips.
Do you?
No, I wish I did. That you do.
Right, but why would you wish that? You're more of like a brute strength, large, blunt objects.
Yeah, but I still have swords in my fingertips, and think of the per finger pressure I could supply,
Well,
especially when grappling. Like,
Oh, that
harder to
PFP.
get away.
why don't we just get you some gauntlets that have sharp claws on the end of them? That's doable.
I had
Okay, I'm
never
sorry.
considered that.
Have either of you realized that Uggo and Civ have been in the bath for a long time?
Yeah, but I hear them
Are
talking
they
about.
about nails?
They sound perfectly happy. Let's just
Manicure?
let them have this.
My chin's getting wrinkly now.
I heard
wait.
Uggo asking about the color of his skin, so it seems
Oh,
like getting quite
oh.
close.
You know what? I forgot something. Civ just gets up, walks into the other room, grabs some of the food from the table and like a carafe of water. Not
Oh,
wine,
bat snacks!
And then
Yes.
he walks back to the tub and crawls back into the tub. And
Oh, this
starts
is
handing
awesome.
snacks over to.
This whole episode
Uggo.
is just in the bath.
This is not how I thought this episode was going to go.
And he tracks water all the way across both rooms. Doesn't
Yeah,
even
No, if
but-
only, no, if only we had a cow's bladder and we could play with it in a tub.
This is
Oh
Uggo
my
and Civ as Bert and Ernie.
Are
Yeah, but
there
can you-
any
What's with
orc
that?
like bath time songs? Is that a thing?
I could translate loosely. Rub dub dub. There's an orc in the tub. Oh, that one actually rhymed. I didn't realize that
Ah,
translated from
that's a
orc
good one.
to common. Wow. Rub a dub dub. Orc in a tub. Don't bring a knife because they'll stab you with it.
Ema,
that-
could you prestidigitate that water off the ground? Actually, I don't want one of us
Right.
to slip. It's marble.
course.
Marble and water is like a death sentence, so please be careful.
Yes.
So Civ and Uggo are just eating and drinking while sitting in the tub.
It's been a long time since we've been able to just relax.
Relax.
Yeah.
True.
In a way, I take the fact that the queen not knowing about Osira as a good sign.
Because
I don't know. It makes me think that maybe they were successful in protecting her.
yes. And when you asked us if we should tell her, there was just something in me that said we shouldn't. Not because I don't,
I was unsure myself. Yeah, I don't know.
maybe because we're sort of not sure who's on the right side as of now. And who are we to determine what the right side is, but
I think it's With both Zhang Lalong and Li Fen, I was just struck with how sad these people are.
What could her secret be, you think?
What do you
Li
mean?
Fen. Well, didn't the Queen say that she might show us the way through the portal with the promise
you
of
mean-
releasing some sort of secret of her own?
Su Yin.
Su Yin, yes.
Well, I mean, we directly know at least about one matter of great personal weight when it comes to Su Yin and the Shaxen Gao family.
I wonder if she regrets it, though.
I hope she does. It was a terrible thing. That I assume she thinks led to the death of her sister and her nephew.
Perhaps she had indiscretions of her own.
Maybe she knows
Similar
Yon Mo is
nature.
alive, but maybe she knows Yon Mo is alive, but I don't. Maybe she doesn't. Was there anything when you were with the Ashen Mage? You said you saw Yon Mo a couple times. Was there anything else that he said that led you to believe that perhaps he had made his presence known, or anything?
To the Dragonborn.
Yeah.
He said very little to me, to be honest, and it's a bit hazy. It was quite a traumatic experience, but not that I remember.
Maybe they know, but maybe they don't.
I gotta get out of this. My skin's starting to get wrinkly.
Oh gods, I forgot. And Civ clicks his fingers, and Mr. Whispers is going to crawl out of his clothing that's laying on the ground, like he's been in his dimensional pocket this whole time. Buddy, Mr. Whispers, they deserve a nice, relaxing bath as well, right?
Of
You're
course.
gonna put a bear in that tub?
I mean,
So-
I don't know if I want to summon a bear in the middle of the palace, but we could. I'm not opposed to breaking down the door and finding out answers because you put me in a gosh darn prison. But I thought that would probably not be a good idea.
Well, you don't have to. I just think, we're here and it's rude not to include everyone. And I'm going to gesture for Mr. Whispers if he wants to use the bath as well.
Probably would sleep better if Buddy was around.
Mr. Whispers take a little dive off the edge of the porcelain.
He's still in bird form, actually. He's still
bird.
eagle.
Oh, an eagle?
Yeah, he's an eagle.
The eagles
type
wash
is
themselves, right? I
crowded.
don't
Bird
know.
bath.
Yeah.
True.
So Civ's going to get out and do the typical cat thing where they just start to shimmy and shake and then eventually flutter all the water and just let it scatter in all directions. To where now he's like sort of like this wet poof.
You guys can barely see Civ's face. He's just a big blue ball of fur.
Enjoy yourself.
That was amazing. I
Yes.
highly, highly recommend it.
Make sure you
Miss-
bring bath snacks.
Right.
Oh.
Something to drink, something to eat, soap.
Wow, I didn't realize how badly you both smelled until you took a bath.
Yes, it has
Wow.
been months since we've taken a bath.
I feel like I can see a bit clearer, too.
Usually we just ask you to do the prestidigitation spell
Right.
to make us smell like
Ugo's getting dressed, and at one point he pulls out a little bottle of perfume.
Oh,
Starts
no.
to stink
No,
up
I'll
in
go.
there.
No.
What?
No,
What?
people have allergies to perfume.
It's
Oh.
so intense. Brings back memories, though.
Yeah, that's the point.
You
Smells
might
like
look through a
dawn.
window and cannot find one.
Listen, I wanted, I guess, to wait till we were all together. It was very apparent that Li Fen, she thinks she knows what we should do. And she made her case. But she very squarely put it on our shoulders. As far as going to see Lord Erevan and restarting the 300-year clock, I guess.
Well, we don't have to decide the 300-year clock decision before
We-
we go see Lord Airban.
We don't, but I guess I just wanted to talk to everyone, because I certainly had very strong feelings.
I want to know why 300 years. What's the timer on that? Why exactly 3 centuries? Why does the threat come back then?
Well, somebody interrupted me while I was telling that part.
Oh no! Really? That's missing information that we could have had?
Oh.
Fine, I'll go bash my head against the wall. Sorry.
It's fine.
I think it was the fact that that's just, I mean, maybe one time it would be 300 years, maybe one time it would be 400, maybe it would,
I don't know if this is something for us to presume. We probably should find that out.
I guess.
It's another prison.
I want you to remember, all of us, to remember that memory that we had through the amulet of the heroes lighting the libraries on fire. Because that's what we would have to do. Burn down Nightstone.
I always hoped that I was destined for greatness, destined to save creatures, to make a difference, to write great books, but I never thought I would have to make a decision like this or have to be involved in something that is so grand. I don't know. Is there any way out at this point?
I think all you can know is yourself and what your feelings and what your history tells you is the right way.
But we must, if we're not going to reset the clock, and I'm not saying I agree with it, because I don't love that idea, I think we better have a very good idea of what is a better idea. Because the other option is leaving people in a world of chaos and torture. And that's not fair either.
No. I know. But I think back to the time when I connected myself to Shathragat. There was a time when I don't think I ever felt more alone. And in a way, doing this, making everyone forget, would be making the entire world feel alone. And that can't be the right way.
I don't disagree, James. I'm just saying we have to have a good plan if we're not going to do it.
I know.
Because loneliness is one thing, but suffering is much worse.
I totally agree. And maybe the way...
The different side of the same coin.
But maybe the way is to keep bringing people together. If you ask me today, the best thing I ever did in all of my life was that day in Bingle, telling the world, asking them for help, bringing people together, making people feel less alone. That's the best thing I ever did. That's the best thing I'll ever do.
It's the oath I took to all of you. It's love. I love all of you. Deeply. Uniquely. To each one of you. And you have shown me that you are just... You represent everyone. Each one of you represents everyone in this world, to me.
And the fact that they can hear me saying this now, and I don't care, I guess. The fact that Shathragat could be Miras' blue, I haven't totally wrapped my head around that yet, but the fact that might even be the case, it puts Shothragot in this light of someone who's in pain.
And deeply corrupted.
Do you know what Shothragod's goal is?
I've asked so many times. I've forgotten how many times I've asked, and it's always avoided answering. And even knowing that it might be Miris's blue, I'm still not sure what it wants.
Well, perhaps, I mean, this might be an oversimplification, but I wonder if the greater scheme of things is a reflection of what happened in Turles, where instead of getting rid of the magic, we educate. And I think it sounds a bit silly because this is the art of invention. It creates magical and technological impossibilities. But if we educate people on what could happen and recruit the most capable, intelligent of those of Ayn to, well, I guess that's what the natural order is here for. And they don't seem to be making as much progress as they had hoped.
Some things that I know, though. I know for certain that Shothragot wants me to stop the Ashen Mage. Now, maybe if it does know what it, assuming, because Mirasis is the only warden that remembers. So assuming they still do remember, then she sees Calcutta Theed becoming a new Onivrius. And a new Onivrius means there's another god in the room and more power lost. So if the old ones care about power, if the old ones need to beat down any pretenders like it wanted me to kill Braca, then maybe they're trying to stop another urn from turning another creature into a god.
We're caught in the middle of a war of gods. And
dragons.
I wish I could say, let's just let them sort it out themselves, but unfortunately, they suck entire civilizations down a hole and they don't get their way.
And a blue elf who thinks he's pretty smart decides to sacrifice his entire civilization to one of the gods as an offering.
Well, I don't know if...
Sorry?
What, Hago?
Loneliness is torture. I can tell you. I know it. Our choice with what we know and what we don't is impossible currently. It is not a choice. Neither is good.
Well, I don't think we disagree on that, and so it seems to me that we are all at least very close to being on the same page when we go to see Lord Ereban, and that's where we get the rest of the information. Well, more information at least.
Well, we have to get through the princess first.
Right. I just think about those drow that have been down there for 300 years, forgotten. In danger of being forgotten all over again.
Yes. It's unfortunate their leader has taken such extreme measures to bring them back.
Can you blame her? I know.
Well,
she's done terrible things. I know. But it's really...
It was Nazqual Thet that really gave Onivrius his power. Yes? A god turned the man into a god.
Well, I think he got to a certain level and he wanted to go one step further and made a deal
He made the
with
deal.
a god.
Right.
What if we do what he did?
What do you mean?
Make a deal
Make
with
a deal with a god. Fight fire with fire.
To do what?
Make the urn of invention disappear from time and space.
Such a thing is possible.
It is a god.
Maybe. But the urn, I think the problem with if what Li Fen has said is to be believed, the problem with the urn is that it's connected to everything. It's connected to science, it's connected to culture, it's connected to history.
Well, and we've seen it can be remade. If the knowledge is not destroyed, it can be remade. It's a great idea, Ugu, but unfortunately we've seen it happen
Could
again.
a god not make it so that you couldn't even think of the thing?
I don't know, but I think I'm not rejecting the idea of reaching out to the gods. I think the stronger allies we have on our side, the better.
And just when in fighting with other, look at what they do first. See what they bring to fight. Bring bigger gun. Excuse me, sword.
It's a gun.
Cannon.
Well, it feels to me like we have still not enough information to make a decision. We need to talk to Lord Airban and get more information and decide what kind of decision we even have to make.
Mm-hmm. And unlike with Li Fen, at least with Su Yin, we are already armed with lots of information that hopefully she'll be interested in. So
I think we should be careful with Su Yin, because all that we know about her is that she's a very, very powerful person who's been very ruthless in the past. So,
especially to their own family.
Exactly. So while I think that information might be extremely helpful, I don't think we should rush in there shouting it.
Twice.
I don't know.
Well, the Queen recommended that we dangle the removal of her terrible memories in front of her like bait.
Yes. I don't even think
So that coin you have.
Sorry, Lily.
I was going to say the same. I don't think we need to necessarily tell her anything. I think we have something to give her, right?
We do.
Just taking her with us.
Why wouldn't she have gone before?
Good question.
It's a very good question. I don't know.
She's always had access.
Yeah, if the portal's been there the entire time.
Perhaps she's not had the idea.
Or maybe Lord Ereban has barred her from entry.
Maybe Lord Ereban. She did say, Li Fen did say that she had a bit of a falling out, or hasn't spoken to him in a while. It felt like there'd been a little bit of falling out. I don't know.
Well, regardless, it seems like in the morning we should head to Lord Ereban.
Yes, I'm ready to rest up for a lively day of traumatizing events that will reshape my entire past and future.
Also, your worldview.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I agree with you, Lily, that maybe we don't have all the information, but how I'm feeling right now, it would take a lot to push me all the way to the other side.
What is the other side?
Which
side are you on here?
Making people forget.
I will die before that happens.
I'm just saying it's not for our moral standing, it's people's.
I understand. And I agree that a good plan is necessary.
It's stronger than just how we feel.
Mm-hmm.
But how we feel decides our plans.
It does. I'm just saying it's bigger than us.
Yes, I understand.
Much bigger than us.
Well, and I think we should count ourselves lucky if we have some dissent within the group, because as we all know, like-minded individuals who all have the same exact agenda and way of thinking, that's not the healthiest group to be making decisions. So let's keep talking about it and keep debating.
Said.
All right.
James, I don't know, tries for a group hug. Just probably as awkward as it
Excuse
sounds.
me.
Hema goes in.
I believe you all need bars before that's going to happen.
You can take another
Right
one
now,
if you-
Uggo and I are by far the best smelling, cleanest out of each and every
He
one of
is
you.
right,
You're
but I will
right.
still
All right.
hug you. I
That's
will
That's
still
not
hug
because I didn't bathe. It's because
This is just an excuse for you to take
Brimstone.
another one.
All right. So
Fair
with
point.
that, the team heads to very fluffy pillows, very feathered down comforters.
Siv's gonna do that thing with his claws where he like kneads the pillow before
Aw.
he
He
lays
makes
down.
biscuits.
Probably,
Uggo lays
probably
down
tears
and-
some holes in the sheets and the pillows in the process, but
Uggo
whatever.
lays down and leaves a orc-shaped wet spot on the.
Yep.
And James.
Are there 5 bedrooms or?
Yeah,
or
there's more
okay.
than
Oh,
5.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
James lays down and pulls the sheets up and can't sleep.
Nope.
But everybody gets a long rest.
May I do something
Yes, you may.
later in the evening? After everyone has gone to sleep, James has been racking his brain for hours and hesitates, and then sits down and casts a dream spell
Okay.
to Persta Samuels.
What would you like this dream to consist of?
It'll be very pleasant. James will alter his appearance somewhat to look how he looked when he saw her last, so as not
Okay.
to shock her in any way. We're sitting next to the fountain outside of Nightstone, but it's much nicer. It's a nice day. The one where we battled the Lord of Crows, but not in wreckage. Mid-afternoon on a spring day. And we're both just sitting there. Next to the fountain, there's people milling about the market around us. Hello?
She looks around a little disoriented.
I'm sorry to visit you this way. I wouldn't have if it weren't very important.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. I'm quite far away at the moment. Not sure you'd believe where I am, actually, but how is Turles? How is the rebuilding going after the battle?
All of this is very strange to me.
I'm very sorry. It is. I tried to make it as peaceful and as pleasant as possible.
The rebuilding effort is going quite well.
Good. I'm happy to hear.
There has been no further attacks.
Excellent. We haven't seen many demons at all in our travels, so I hope that bodes well.
Is this real?
No. It's a dream. I'm real. You're real. This is not. It's based on my memories of a nice
This is
time.
magic.
It is.
I see.
But I hope you'll forgive me this one time, because there's something I need to tell you. And out of the crowd of people around us, the crowd parts, and this man strides out of the crowd. And it's Thad Yelmings. You know who
She
this
looks
man
at you.
is? Do you know who this man is?
I believe he was one of our gods.
Yes. He's
Murdered.
Correct.
His death was the reason I instituted the moratorium.
That's right. To this day, I believe his killer is still hasn't been caught.
That's true. He walks. Is this a resurrection?
No. He is a memory. My memory. And the setting changes. The bright day in the square around us swirls and darkens until we're standing in the street at night at the end of an alley. The streets are quiet, it's very late. But as we stand there next to her, deeper down the alley, there's the sounds of cruelty. Harsh words, threats, cry of pain from a small voice.
She reaches for her sword at her hip.
This is a memory.
What are you showing me?
I'm showing you what happened to Thad Yelmings. And as I say that, a huddled form approaches us in the dark street. As a tall man, thin, clutching a large dark book, whose title is written in a language that looks strange, probably wouldn't understand it. And a sharp cry of pain comes from further down the alley. And you see him stop in front of us. He doesn't see us. And the thin man stops, hesitating. Looks a lot like James. A young voice cries, "Stop, please!" The tall, thin man looks on worriedly, seems to consider ignoring it. But as the voices continue, something in him hardens, and he turns and walks up the alley. James motions for them to follow.
She does.
We follow him down the dark alley, where we find three forms. One large and imposing, and two others, smaller, shrinking away from him. "We gave it back, just leave us alone." But the larger form raises a fist and brings it down hard onto one of them, a young boy.
Again, she reaches for her sword hilt.
It's followed by a kick. In the faint light from the street, a guard's uniform is visible on the larger form. "Here now, that can't be necessary," the thin man says, almost too quietly. And he reaches to stop the imposing figure. But as he grabs its shoulder, the figure spins around and pushes the thin man to the ground. "Stay out of it." And we see the face of Thad Yelmings, the same one we saw in the square. With a sneer, we see him turn back towards the children. "Nice cities like Turles are no place for filth like you." And you see the thin man on his back reach up and cry out. And you see some dark energy come from his fingertips. And you watch as the guard grabs his head, cries out in pain, and falls to his knees, and then drops face first into a ditch. The children run off. And you watch as the tall, thin man in the dirt just stares at the form down, face first.
This is where we found him. Just like that. How could you know?
James will wave his hand, and the figure will stand right next to him.
You.
I'm telling you this now because I can't bear the thought of someone else bearing the weight of my guilt.
You had so many opportunities to tell me in person.
I guess I did, but when the entire fate of the world is pressing down on you, it's hard to prioritize sometimes, so I apologize for not telling you earlier.
This is a crime.
Yes, it is. And should the day come I am able to return to Turles, I will stand in judgment for it. It's probably small comfort that I think of that man every day.
He had a wife.
I was dangerous. I'm sorry.
I will consider this investigation closed. And look forward to seeing you in Turles one day.
That's all I can ask. Again, I apologize for interrupting your privacy.
We all must take responsibility for our actions. I, above all.
I see that you're a person trying their best. And I thank you for that. And I thank you for all you've done for Turles. My friends, my family, are under your protection.
My city would have been wiped out, my own life taken, were it not for you and your companions. That fact will enter into my considerations should we meet again.
It's very kind.
But if you decide never to return to Turles, I will consider this matter finished.
Good evening, Chief Regent.
The dream ends. That's where we'll go to intermission. take a brief intermission. We did get a potato as that was happening. DCJ Design. And guess what, folks? First live viewing.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Hey,
What a
welcome.
night. What a night for first time live viewers.
I love it. I love
Wonderful.
the newbies.
Welcome. You picked a good night. I thought that was a wonderful.
You got to
first
see
act.
a bath scene and a confession.
How did it
That
take
is-
us 111 episodes to get to a bath scene?
I
No
know.
idea.
Some
Truly.
great
No
role
idea.
playing right
Need more
there.
baths in D&D.
All right, we will be right back. Lots more show to come. Stick around. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. Thank you for sticking around during intermission. Giving you an update on that tug of war. It's really being decided right now by balloons because we are neck and neck as far as potatoes and yams.
Get in those balloons.
Balloons. Balloons from Jar Full of Bees, City Racing Girl, Bacon Awesome, Best Garner ever? Best Garner ever.
Sure.
I mean,
there's a few Garners
there's a
out
lot of
there.
Garners. That's the best Garner
that's
ever.
a tight competition.
Yeah. Jennifer Garner, pretty good Garner.
I mean, right?
It brings us to Team Force of Good, 53%. Team Force of Evil, 47%. So just barely edging out. All right. We return to our story, and night passes, and
I'm pretty sure I need to roll a con saving throw, Jeff.
Oh, that's right, because you cast Dream.
You do. Dream is a 5th level spell, so it needs to be a DC 15.
And you do have advantage from Jim-Witted.
Thanks, Jim-Witted.
Right. And after that, I need you to roll our die and tell me which one of us shows up.
That's a fail. Even with advantage, that's an 11.
So you take 1 level of exhaustion, which, of course, gives you disadvantage on ability checks.
Noted. Worth it, but noted.
So James emerges from the night feeling actually worse than he did when he went to sleep. Or there was no sleep for James.
There was no sleep.
We're getting
Fahima was who I rolled.
Oh, Fahima's who you rolled?
Yes.
Okay. So today, family members within the aura gain fire resistance.
Nice.
Ooh, baby. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Love that.
So, morning comes, and so does a knock on the door. It cracks open, and there are nameless few waiting, wordless, to escort you into the royal chamber.
Could we get some breakfast first?
There's a nod, and there's a cart actually outside the door already.
Very
with
nice.
Some food items and various sweetmeats.
James is always first up, so because he doesn't sleep. So yeah, I could picture James kind of setting out the breakfast for everyone before they wake up, like a weird, weird half demon concierge.
Ugo smiles and looks over to one of the nameless few and says, "Can I get 2 decorative bows that are yellow?"
There's a nod, and one of them departs.
Yes, with 2 decorative bows.
If I'm gonna be prisoned, I might as well look good when I meet royalty.
Oh, right.
And as you all dine, break your fast in the morning, and have some of these delicious food items, you note that they have been made with care and skill.
Yeah.
And
anything we don't eat, I'm putting in the bag of holding.
Okay.
You want my runny eggs?
Basically, like my grandmother at any food meal that she arrives at.
I take all of the little sugar packets that are on the table and the thing.
As the nameless few start cleaning up, they look for the salt and pepper shakers.
Nope, gone.
All the silverware in your
Half of the silverware gone.
And one arrives holding a pair of yellow bows out to Ugo.
Ugo looks at him and says, "They're not the yellow of thorn. Bring back color of thorn yellow."
Ugo.
There's a nod.
What was that? It's quite out
It
of
is
character
that we
for you.
we are prisoners.
I mean,
I'm
We're
being
being afforded
difficult because I am passively resisting these people.
But Ugo, we're being afforded a great privilege here.
Yes, and I want to represent Thorn beautifully,
All right.
And
but also passively resist our prisoners.
Fair. That's fair.
is it?
There's
I
a
don't-
long
I don't
period
know.
of time that you would have to wait.
We've
for
been
this
through a
person to
lot.
return. Ugo, would you like to wait until your bows arrive?
If they take too long, I'll just take the yellow ones and I'll begin to put them in my hair.
Yeah. As you start walking down the corridor, being escorted by the nameless few, you turn a corner and there's a guy who comes up with different yellows, and he looks at you wearing those first yellows. And
Give them to me. I'll take them.
The heck!
All right. So you were
He breaks his vow of silence and go, "What the heck, man?"
You are brought into a very large chamber. Eventually, you move down again. Opulent surroundings. These beautifully decorated. This palace. You are in the royal palace of the Shaxen Gao Empire, and it lives up to every one of the bit of reputation and rumor that you had ever heard about this place. It is grand. It is almost overwhelming in its ostentatious presentation. And you eventually arrive at the throne room itself, which is a magnificent hall. There are enormous pillars on either side, a brilliant scarlet carpet cast on the center of this marble pathway. Just an immense building that leads to stairs, the carpeted stairs that go up to a platform, this circular platform inlaid with all manner of tile and craftwork that resplendent in its detail, its level of craftsmanship. In fact, why don't we take a look at the map room?
Ooh.
And you will get a chance to see it for yourselves.
The audience can never see this, but Jeff's icon photo to get into the map room is him making a very funny face, and it makes me laugh every time.
I love it every time.
Never gets old.
Every time.
It's like the funniest gatekeeper to the map room.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
All right, so you stand at the end of this massive room. Deep at the far end, there are enormous statues of these dragonborn, armored dragonborn on the back of incredible steeds, rearing back capes. There it is.
Stunning.
It is. And the far end of the room is a beautiful 3-story high window. This plate glass window. This what's the name of colored glass?
Stained glass.
Stained glass window. Thank you. Stained glass window. It just incredible, casting this radiant glow over this entire throne room. Sitting in the large throne is a woman.
I would have put
a dragonborn
map
woman
on my wall. Sorry, it's so stunning. Oh my god.
It is. This is the seat of power for the dynasty of the Shaxen Gao. And there are a number of guards in here as well. You'll note there are armored, in beautiful formal armor, but still carrying weapons at their hips, holding spears, standing ready to guard their ruling princess should the need arise. You stand at the far end of the room, and the nameless few. You'll note that the guards in here are not nameless few. They are more military guards dressed in more traditional plate mail, just military attire. And the nameless few lead you in and close the doors, leaving you inside on your own at the far end of the room.
Is this nicer than Vimdur?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of
Deltathum.
Yeah, Deltathum. Both. I mean, you guys went to Vimdur as well. Those places had a lot of fine minerals and gemstones and stuff because they were in easy supply for the dwarves who mined them. But nothing of this level of craftsmanship and detail and ornamentation. It's nothing like anything you've ever been to.
James awakened mind to everyone. If the queen is being kept a secret, maybe we be careful about how quickly we mention her. Maybe the princess won't take kindly to it if we...
I mean...
I think she knows, but maybe not everyone knows.
There's a boom, boom at the back as one of the spearmen toward the very far end of this massive room, this almost cathedral-like hallway, bangs a spear on the ground and yells out, "Approach!"
Okay.
Just the image of a tiny gnome at the end of this massive. All right.
Lily will pop with a pep in her step, walk towards.
All right, you're welcome to move your icon where you'd like to go.
James is probably feeling fairly self-conscious as in his demon form and is hanging towards the back.
Okay.
But you're also like a little peaked too, right?
Right, because now I have a level of exhaustion. Good point. Yes.
Hema also strides forward, and Meep is out and shining brightly as her.
All right.
Very nice, yes.
There is the guards eye the phoenix, but allow you to arrive at the base of these stairs here, no closer to the queen, who sits elevated, looking down on you. She's dressed, has a tiara on her head, a beautiful ornamented, bejeweled crown on her head, and she sits with a long cape flowing over the sides, over the arms of the chair, in blues and oranges. She seems regal, casts an incredible silhouette there against the brilliant light of that backdrop, soaring through, seeping through the glass window.
Good morning, Your Majesty. Lily will curtsy and bow.
Yes.
She does not smile. She looks at you and she says, "You bring a 100-foot tall statue to my front gate.
Yes.
A statue that looks exactly like the one that sits over my border city of Zhong. You have my attention. For what purpose? What brings outsiders, Latlanites, into the Shaxen Gao Empire, asking for an audience with the throne?"
Well, information. And we also have information that we think you might benefit from.
Siv is
You
going
have
to
my
palm
ear.
one of the dragon coins into Lily's hand.
And money.
One
I
of
do not need your
the
money.
dragon coins.
If you can talk.
Siv just kind of looks around. He's very, very like uncomfortable here. We just have something that it's a gift, I suppose. Thought you might like it.
He nods to the guard that is nearest you, and he reaches out his hand
I flip
expectantly.
it to him.
Catches it. His eyes get wide. He looks back at the queen, and then turns and walks up to her. He hands it to the queen, who leans forward and plucks the coin from his hand. She looks up at you. "Where did you get this?"
In a vault.
It's a long story.
We would like to speak with you, Your Majesty, but we want to make sure that we can speak openly here.
What do you mean openly?
The information we have is safe within this room, in front of, I assume, trusted guards?
She looks to her right and her left, and one of the guards stamps his spear a couple of times, and these guards closest to you move back down the hall like this. They stand assembled at the bottom of these stairs, and these two move in closer to her to provide her more safety and security, and she says, "I hope the information you are referring to is worth all of this trouble."
Yes.
"You have presented to me a coin of the realm that has not been seen in quite some time. The last coins I knew of that were printed with this insignia were stolen. And here you are, with them in your possession.
Correct. This is one of those coins. Stolen.
Adam, we came to seek an audience with your benevolence on an issue of greatest import to all of Ein, not only the Shaxen Gao and our 100-foot-tall friend outside only wishes to see the protection of the realm continue. I have no doubt that you've heard of some great happenings. Demons, attacks, Bingle, Turles. All these ring a bell, I assume.
Of course. The reach of the Empire is long.
Yes. Please.
Go ahead.
We came to the city not only seeking to confer with yourself, but also with one of your elders. Much elders.
A little smile comes to her lips.
We share a connection there.
This elder you speak of, her very existence is a threat to our dynasty.
That's interesting.
I know that you met with her.
Figured you might.
Some of my advisors have counseled me to never let you leave Li Zhao alive. What you now know makes you a liability to me. Explain why my nameless few should not simply cut you down where you stand.
We are headed somewhere that would benefit you.
And where is that?
And we are here to also offer an invitation for you to join us.
To join you?
Yes. Not forever.
It's a person whose talents may serve you in some way.
You speak in vagaries.
Well, I'll just say his name if you trust everyone here.
You may speak freely.
On our way to see Lord Ereban. And we are told that perchance you know a way to get to him. And perchance you might benefit from coming with us. I don't need to know the information that weighs on you in your life. But Lord Ereban wields great power and a great ability to relieve one of burdensome information.
You presume that there is a weakness where there is none.
Not a weakness. You're clearly fine. You're clearly in power. You're clearly well respected. Breakfast was wonderful. The beds were very comfortable. Even with orders to kill us, you're a wonderful host. So no weakness. Simply an offer. We all know what it's like to carry the weight of, well, it feels like the world right now. And we thought you might want to join us.
Everyone has regrets.
It's a presumption, true, but what we've been told. We thought you might be interested.
But it seems you would not need our invitation if you are the one with access to Lord Araban.
This Lord Araban. I have heard rumor of what he offers.
Keeper of secrets.
That is the rumor.
A well-vetted rumor.
Yes.
Turns out a lot of rumors are quite true.
It may be related to why that coin is in your hand.
That coin was part of a theft from this dynasty. Under my watch. And I did everything to find those responsible. It was rumored pirates far to the east were part of a group that plundered our riches.
That lines up with our information as well.
My operatives searched for them. The only way they could have taken what was ours was through a connection to my family. We found pirates living beyond their means. Some with grandiose tattoos.
Oops. Oh, those poor guys.
They claimed to know nothing about how they procured such riches. Even under the harshest of questioning. Now you waltz in here with your coin of the realm. An ancient coin emblazoned with a face that is no longer connected with this dynasty. So, tell me. Tell me. Explicitly, how does my joining you through a
portal?
Something that has been forbidden by my ancestors. How do you even know of it?
Madam, the five of us you see before you are, well, we're a bit of a ragtag group. We haven't even known each other for that long, if you really break it down. But we've been united by an item and a quest. And for our overall care for Ayn and to see its safety. And part of that comes as a connection to this Lord Araban.
Tell them.
It's a lot. Where to start?
Start with the
The
Wardens.
truth.
Yes.
Well, is she asking why joining us benefits her?
but she needs to trust us. Lily,
Yes?
show her what's around your neck.
Lily will take out the amulet.
She eyes it on the throne.
We found this in an abandoned dragon's lair a few months back. And since then, the five of us, again, this whatever group of nobodies, 5 yahoos from all over the place,
Family.
who've become a family, have been wrapped up in a rather complicated bit of history. You might know my voice, madam. We were the adventurers who helped the island of Bingle turn back the evil from the sea.
The raising of eyebrows.
We also helped Turles defend against the demon hordes. There's a lot. We've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of history. And we know quite a bit about your family. We've met, spoken, done battle with a chrono dragon.
She scoffs.
It's pretty ridiculous.
True, no the less.
I have been much closer to your sister Bao Jai than I have been to you.
What did you say?
Bao Jai, your sister, 22 years ago.
But you cannot be more than 22 yourselves.
Chrono dragons are a mysterious and powerful force.
My sister.
The amulet has shown us things that even you have never seen.
We know the secrets of 300 years ago, and we know a good deal of your secrets as well. We come here as friends to offer you alliance and offer you help.
Help in what way?
To relieve your burdens.
Hopefully save Ain.
We've been told that perhaps you may seek Lord Araban for help with your own problems, personally. And knowing a bit of what happened amongst your family 22 years ago, I can see why you might have regrets.
Hey, Jeff, where are the guards when he says that?
There's only two. There's the ones that are far away out of earshot, and there's
Yeah.
only two on either side of her flanking.
Yeah, I was just looking around, making sure nobody's coming.
I am curious, how do the guards react with all of the stuff that James and Lily are, and literally everyone are saying?
They are stoic, looking to the queen or to the princess to for any indication of whether to dispatch you or usher you out or what to do.
There's
And
no
she's-
like little crack in the veneer when we drop some of these bombs.
I mean, I think there's certainly, you know, they are highly trained, highly loyal, and these are the two that would be at her right and left hand at all times. These are the two of her most trusted. If she would dismiss the others to hear whatever, you know, these are the two that she would have closest to her. So there's, you know, less indication that they are breaking, but there's certainly, you know, seeing in her demeanor how these things land, I think is giving them concern.
Okay.
Your Majesty,
Yes.
we don't need to bombard you with a ton of information. We only say this to say we've seen a lot, we know a lot, and we've been told, or perhaps there are a few things you'd like to relieve your memory of. We have a good relationship I think, with Lord Airban, and perhaps you would like to join us in our quest to see him.
Tell me one thing. My sister. Is dead? Yes.
Well, there's a possibility that she might have survived that.
In a way.
Depends on your definition of dead.
Magic can do amazing things. There is a way.
Do you know where she is?
She is...
What we saw did not look hopeful.
No.
I don't want to lead you on in any other way than that. It didn't. But...
Her child.
Yes.
Choron, the child's father, is no longer with us. Chomel lives.
What? How?
To this day.
He's not really Chomel anymore.
He is the one responsible for the destruction of Bingle.
Yes.
That we prevented.
Partially responsible, but yes.
22 years ago.
Let's maybe...
I'll give a bit more context. 22 years ago,
James.
Your forces happened upon pirates in the Deep Reef. Pirates led by the famous pirate Whitebeard, who I assure you is very dead. These were the pirates who stole those coins you have. Choron was showing these pirates to the treasure of the Shaxen Gao, Helden Kingdom. So the nameless few killed him. And in the battle, Bao Zhai fell overboard with her son and sank to the bottom of the Deep Reef.
Drowned.
Not exactly. And Chomel, the boy, is half Triton. So he lived on. And over the course of 22 years grew into a very angry man.
We tried to save him.
We did. Again.
We tried so hard.
Turns to you, Lily. And Chomel was responsible for what happened to Bingle.
He and others.
I was so young at the time. Obsessed with power and lineage and what was right. And my sister and I had disagreements on the way forward for the dynasty, and I knew that she had broken our most fundamental rules. have lived for 22 years with that. She was never supposed to die. Just be apprehended. She turns to her guards. I will open the portal. For them. For you.
Thank you.
You say you can still challenge Chomel. You can right the wrongs of the past.
We can try.
He goes by Yon Mo now.
The undrowned.
Language. Undrowned.
And Baojai, we expressed some hesitance to say she turned herself to stone. We don't know where exactly, but last we saw, she was a statue sinking to the bottom of the deep reef, clutching Chomel in her arms, as a matter of fact.
The might of this dynasty will not rest until I locate that statue. Come. It will take you to the forbidden place. Now.
Yes.
She stands, and the two guards move in right on either side of her, and she holds up a hand. Let us go. And she walks forward down the long red carpet, the stairs that lead lower down to your level. You see she is middle-aged, still beautiful, dragonborn. Her scales shiny, brilliant orange. She walks down straight toward you, not even flinching as she parts between your lines and moves forward at a brisk pace, expecting you to fall in behind her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guess we follow.
Sure.
The guards follow behind you at a few paces back, watching, making sure the princess is safe. But she pays them no mind. She continues walking and leading you out of this grand hallway, this incredible, opulent throne room.
Almost sorry we didn't have a battle in it. So pretty.
Could have, if you wanted.
I stabbed my guard. No, just kidding.
Ugo looks at Civ as they're walking, and the look on his face is, I can't believe that worked.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Our batting average with kings and like royalty is pretty low. So, I mean.
Well, usually when we send the lead to the front lines, it
Always a
helps
good
us
idea.
out a little bit.
Always a good idea.
All right, we can leave the map room as you all leave the throne room and move through at a very brisk pace this incredibly large capital, this palace. And the princess is moving with a familiarity in this place, moving through these incredible rooms with pillars and marble statues, these incredible representations of dragonborn warriors and fighters, of royal house members and military officials. It is an extraordinary walk as you move through this palace. And then you get to an area that seems much older, much less cared for. She moves through doors, boom, walking into turning corners, moving through new doors, boom, going into areas that seem much less staffed, fewer dragonborn, fewer guards, finally getting to a door that leads to a staircase down. You seem to be much, much farther away from the area where you met the queen. This is deeper into the palace, but you walk down this staircase, and she just turns at the bottom of it and looks up at you. To my knowledge, no one has been down here for decades.
I'm curious, Your Majesty. Are you aware of what Lord Araban has done in the past for your elders?
I know he was a great ally to my great-great-great-grandmother. But
Yes,
we have
he was.
been forbidden to use this room in any way.
Says who?
My lineage. My ancestors. My dynasty. I live to continue its supremacy.
Well, thank you for making a consideration for us and for the situation.
She unlocks another door and she opens it, and there is standing there, glowing, shimmering in the air, a portal.
Oof.
Don't think of Seth. Don't think of Seth.
It's been a minute.
Is it a portal that has runes around the edges that Fahima could copy down with enough time? Different?
Different.
Not a
Yeah.
teleportation circle. Okay.
Your Majesty, do you prefer we go ahead of you or you go first?
It might be dangerous. We don't know what's beyond there.
That's what I'm asking.
The guards lean in, and she holds a hand up again. You may proceed.
Okay. See you on
I'll
the
go
other
first
side.
as normal.
All
If
right.
it rips me apart, you'll know why. And I'll go, jump in.
I go, vroom, he disappears through the portal.
Ooh, gosh. Knowing that sending doesn't work if you're on another plane as well, there's a chance it doesn't work if you're on a plane. No, James does take out his book very quickly and is scribbling to Fesh. Found the portal to Lord Araban, about to go through, will be in contact later. So much to say.
Just as you walk through, it says, stay safe.
Fahima looks at Lily and reaches down and grabs her hand, and then, after a moment, reaches her arm all the way around Lily. Together?
Together forever.
All right. Walks through the portal.
Yin follows as all of you get into the portal. It's a strange sensation as you pass through this plane. And as you enter and emerge on the other side, the first thing you notice is the smell. Dank and dusty. It smells a lot like, well, if I had to compare it to anything, I guess I'd say it smells like a big studio in Burbank, California.
Oh, Jeff! I was going to say breakfast.
It is dark.
What is that smell?
It's dark. Very dark. Until the flash of a torch lights the walls. Walls of cut stone. A narrow cave. An antechamber. In the center of the room, is a chair. A high-backed green chair, surrounded by heaps of gold. Coins and necklaces, plates and goblets. A bounty of valuables piled inexplicably around the base of the chair. It makes very little sense, but it is striking to the eye. And in that chair, sitting there, waiting, is not Lord Ereban. Rather, it is a small, impish-like being, no bigger than about 15 pounds. Ugly, with patches of matted brown hair all over. Beady eyes peer at you from above a piggish nose. It opens its mouth and runs its tongue along its lips, and even from this distance you catch a whiff of its breath, like raw cabbage left in the sun on top of a dung heap.
Oh!
Not pleasant.
The heroes of Bingle! The heroes of Bingle are here! Don't screw this up! Don't screw this up, Milo! Don't make Master angry! Heroes of... Wait! Who is this? Who have you brought? Who are you?
This is...
Princess looks taken aback.
You can introduce yourself.
I guess.
I am Su Yin, Princess of the Shaxen Gao Empire.
Princess Su Yin of the Shaxen Gao Empire! Princess Su Yin! You wish to employ the services of the Keeper of Secrets?
I do.
Then... Here!
He extends a short, stubby hand with long, filthy fingers. She reaches out her palm, and into it, Milo drops a small object no bigger than an acorn. You can see it, all of you, in the palm of Su Yin's hand. It seems to be a carved stone, flat on many sides, each with a different number etched into it. Milo looks at her.
Let the dice roll!
Confused.
What?
Confused, the princess tosses the dice onto the ground. The die, excuse me, onto the ground. Milo looks at it. And smiles.
Right this way.
And he guides her beyond the light of the torch.
Alone?
Just her?
Yep. You see her look back at you as she enters the darkness.
Bye.
Your Majesty, please be careful.
In a moment,
Oh,
Milo is back, looking tired.
Heroes of Bingle, you have a different agenda. You want to speak to my master. You want to know a secret, don't you?
Well, yes.
Yes.
Well,
You've been expecting us?
We cannot do it here. No, 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 no.
He extends a long, smelly finger, hair growing off the knuckles. You look where he's pointing, off to the side, and you didn't see it before, but there appears to be an exit from this antechamber in that direction. An arched doorway. Through it, only darkness.
That is the secret room. Secret room, secret room.
Well, aren't you the cutest thing I've ever seen? And she pulls out an arachnid eyeball.
Don't touch me, don't touch me.
She's not touching him. She pulls out an arachnid eyeball and she rolls it over to him like a dog treat.
He plucks it and then pops in his mouth and just sucks on it.
Oh,
Okay. Are we supposed to go into the secret room?
One of you,
You're so
only
good.
one. Only one may enter the secret room. Which?
Ema, do you want to go?
First.
Well, it
Well,
might
you
only be
have-
one of us ever.
You have the one secret that is bigger than any of us, right?
Yes. Mustn't Prolong it.
Eyeball popped.
Ugo pulls out the basilisk tongue that is now clearly starting to decay.
That thing's
Tosses
old.
it to Milo.
He like licks the tongue and it licks it back.
Oh my god!
Excuse me. I'm sorry,
That's why I
Milo.
took that.
Milo,
That's why I took that.
I think we're ready for you to
Who
escort.
have you chosen to enter the secret room?
I will go.
Don't let him.
Go. Then go.
Please be careful.
Good luck, Fahima. We're right here if you need anything.
Don't let him take your memories. I don't think I need to say that, but please just be careful.
Okay.
And Fahima.
And Meep. Not Meep?
Just you. One person alone.
Okay, Meep. Take care. Take care of Meep.
Meep can stay with us. It's okay. Come on, Meep.
Oh god.
Meep and Lily are like the same size, so I don't know.
James will grab your hand. You got this. You're fine.
Okay.
All right. Join me in a secret room.
Oh my god.
All right. Welcome. Jessica, none of the other players can hear us. We are in a secret room. And there is only darkness inside the secret room. The air is thick, warm. You wait for a moment. Then you hear a voice. Well, actually, perhaps that's the wrong way to explain it. You feel a voice inside you, or the sensation of a voice. Or perhaps it is only a message, voiceless but distinct. Words that simply appear in your consciousness. Fahima Taig, Lord Ereban knows where your father is. And he knows the secret Conroy has not told you. Lord Ereban has kept that secret so that Conroy did not have to. The Keeper of Secrets carries that burden so others may not. But to speak with Lord Ereban, one must pass a trial. The trial of trust. The trial can take many forms. It is never quite the same. For you, the trial will be simple. There is only one goal. One of the heroes of Bingle must die. That is the only goal, and the only way to pass the trial. But there are rules. You may not tell anyone else about this goal. When you leave this room, you and your friends will be transported into a battle. If the battle ends, and all of the heroes of Bingle are still alive, you fail the trial. If you reveal any of what we have spoken about here, you fail the trial. You will tell the heroes of Bingle that in order to meet Lord Ereban, they must pass a trial, but you will tell them that it is the trial of might. You and you alone will know the true nature of the trial. You and you alone will ensure that one member of your party dies. And to do this, you will do it in secret. Pass the trial of trust, and Lord Ereban will tell you everything that you want to know. Fail, and the secret will never be revealed. No one, no one will ever know. Do you have any questions?
Is the trial real? Or is it a phantasmal, illusory battle?
The trial is real.
And what's your definition of dead?
Dead. Do you understand the rules?
Can I ask another question?
You may.
The heroes of Bingle are the 5 of us,
That's correct.
not including companions?
That's correct.
And if I fail the trial, then no one will know the secret that Conroy has held with Lord Erebin.
That is correct.
Okay, I understand.
And we may exit the secret room. And we're back. And you see Fahima emerge from that black room, and Milo starts jumping up and down.
Yeah, she's back, she's back. Did you select the trial of might?
The trial.
It was selected for us.
Trial of Might?
Yes.
Oh, it's my favorite trial. It is my favorite. Prepare yourselves. Get ready. It will not be easy.
What is it?
I cannot tell you. Until you're there.
Lord Erebin mentioned trials, trust and trials when last we heard from him. So, okay. This is probably us on the right path, I guess.
We'll find out.
Were you given other choices, Fema? Just curious.
No.
Are you all right?
As all right as I could be after.
Get ready. Are you ready?
I'm confused. Did you meet Lord Erebin, or were you just in another room talking to
I'm
someone
afraid
else?
I cannot give any further explanation.
Okay.
It would impede upon the trial.
Trial and trust.
Trial and trust.
All right.
But you're all right.
You don't look all right.
I don't think she can tell us.
Okay.
And
How are we supposed to trust one another if she can't tell us?
I think we're supposed to trust him.
Him.
Are you ready for the trial?
Fahima, are we ready?
Yes, well, I think, and she looks at all of them, I think it will be quite difficult for all of us.
That is what I said. Very difficult. Prepare yourselves for a trial, the likes of which you have never seen.
Milo, could you give us a moment?
I want the trial to start.
I can't say anything further, so.
Okay.
All right.
What if we ask you a question
No.
and you just don't respond, then you're not telling us anything.
I think Lord Arban might be.
Watching us.
Yeah.
If he's the keeper of secrets, he's certainly going to know when one slips by.
All right, I'll hold your hands for a moment.
Did you say
We're
hold
here.
your hands up?
Yeah, no, I'll hold your hands.
Oh,
We're together. All right, the five of us are here.
you see a tear slowly roll down her face.
Whatever it is, will help. Are we ready?
Don't know. We'll find out.
Guess so.
So we're just going to blindly trust a mind flayer?
It seems to be our only option.
That seems to be the gist of it.
Is there anything I can glean from the throne or the treasure or the room itself? I want to know more about Lord Arban than what we already know.
I mean, I think that you certainly have seen the throne and the treasure, and
Feels like a studio.
Oh, I remember all of the treasure.
Yeah. So whatever
In
you
detail.
could glean, whatever you could glean from that is what you could glean.
Milo, are we
you ready?
are we still in Ein?
Oh, of course.
Insight check.
Sure.
I'd have to roll at disadvantage because I have my low end level of exhaustion. But
Yep. You do have advantage from Hadrian X though, so that would that could be straight
Counter.
roll.
Nat 1.
So you know, Jeff, my passive insight is 17.
Are you ready to begin? I cannot begin until you say you are ready.
Oh, okay. Well, Fahima, it sounds like you were put in a difficult position. I just want you to know we're behind you. Yeah. Do we have to all say it at the same time?
I believe we are ready, Milo.
All
No,
right.
I'm sorry. I need a moment. I'm sorry.
Okay, never mind.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'll just go hold her hand.
Same.
Fahima's looking back towards the way out of where they came from. And her eyes are darting back and forth as if she's searching for something. And
We don't have to do this, Fahima. You can just leave. There's always another way.
all the roads that we've taken so far have led us here. This seems to be the key to unlocking the rest of what it is we don't know. And we've been put in a difficult position to be decision makers for the rest of the world. And I don't think that we have a way out of that.
Could just choose not to.
Is there a word or phrase for something when you do have a choice, but you don't at the same time?
Catch 22.
We all knew that coming into this adventure, we were going to have to make some hard decisions. And that's become abundantly clear in the last month, more so than ever.
Fahima, I love you.
Love you too.
I am proud of you. Who you have become. Who you have helped Uggo become. You are the passion of us. Face what you have to with strength, Fahima. We are with you.
It's the unknown that I'm afraid of.
Of course. But there is a light in the darkness. It is not always the Candle Queen. It is for Uggo. It may be your own flame. I trust you. I believe in you. And Uggo, if must, will die for you. Know that. Use that as your strength.
Not alone. And the five of us have done some pretty amazing things when we're together.
Hey, Fahima.
Well, Milo, do I have time to write a letter? Quickly.
No!
Is this something I can do?
No. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Not even encoded? Anything?
No.
All right.
No flame is ever lit without first a spark.
I'll give you all bardic inspiration before we do this.
Thank you.
Are you ready?
She once again looks all of them in the eyes and reaches out to take their hands and gives them a squeeze and says, "We can do this.
Yes, we can.
I love you all.
I love you too."
I'm ready.
I love you, yahoos.
We're
Just
ready.
like that, everything changes. Go to the map room, roll initiative.
Okay.
It's a bad day for me to have left all my sheets at home.
Oh no.
Michael took pictures of them for me. But,
I'm looking at the map room and
referencing.
oh no.
You arrive in a space elsewhere.
Oh,
You
crap.
stand on a stone platform, staring into the giant eyes of an unfathomable monstrosity. Something enormous, gargantuan. It is tentacled. Its tentacles weave around every stone in this impossible place. Stones levitating high above some bottomless, unknowable expanse. Eyes at the end of tentacles peering at you, writhing, swarming. It is cold. It is imposing. And the battle begins. Everybody roll initiative. Civ, you have advantage from Hadrian X. Fahima, you have advantage from Cal's Creations, canceled by Grim Faded. James, you have advantage from Hadrian X, canceled by Grim Faded. Uggo,
Which
you
then
have
becomes disadvantage because it's
your
technically an
exhaustion.
ability check.
Yeah. Uggo, you have advantage from Hadrian Etch, canceled by Grim Faded. And Lily, you have advantage from a jar full of bees, countered by Grim Faded.
Thank you, Hadrian X.
Thank you, Grim Faded.
Thank you both.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Civ, what'd you get?
27.
James.
1. So 3.
Fema.
8.
8.
8.
Uggo.
8.
Lily.
Whoa, I got 10, and that's crazy that's second.
The big old gap between Civ and the rest of
Yeah,
us.
Civ's the only one prepared for this.
Civ's really going first, and
The rest of us are like,
great.
what's happening?
I mean, it makes a lot of sense with what you see in front of you. This is a massive, pulsating creature, the likes of which you have never seen. It has jaws with sharp teeth that ooze, and there are, pustules all over its slimy skin. It is one giant orb with tentacles. You can't even count the number of them. There's 10. You can each of the tentacles ends with an eyeball of a different color on it. And at the far end of this room, near the jaws of this creature, sits a tiny bowl. From this distance, the bowl looks empty at the moment. Civ, you're up first.
Is this the bowl?
Yep.
On the map?
Yep.
And we have no idea what our task is because she can't tell us.
It is the Trial of Might.
I mean,
Uh,
I think I can
All right.
guess.
I'm going to go for the bowl. So 5, 10, 15.
So you have to jump over those expanses,
Okay.
which, shouldn't be a problem for you, Civ, but...
Oh, there's the bowl. Okay.
Just because I think these things are going to try to grapple me, I'll use a bonus action to grow large.
Okay.
So Giant's Might, if you want to. Thank you. I was here.
Big boy.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then I just want to get to the bowl. So I'll use my action to 5, 10. Actually, no, I'll use my racial ability. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then I'll use my action to snatch up the bowl and put it in the bag of holding.
You reach down to the bowl. Roll me a strength check. You have...
I already get advantage from the Giant's
Yes,
Might.
you already have advantage, right? Because you're large and in charge.
Just straight strength?
Yep.
10.
You reach down and try to pull the bowl up. It does not move. Even in your massive paws that are now large, you can't lift the bowl off the ground. It does look empty at this close up, though. That complete
So
your turn?
is that my action, or is that just interacting with an object?
I would say that's your action because you attempted to use a strength check to get it up.
Okay.
All right. Monster's
that's my
turn. It will. I will roll D10 3 times.
Okay. You said Bardic Inspiration. That's still a D10,
So
right,
I got
Lily?
a 10. I got a 6, and I got a 4. So
20.
Yeah, no, 10, 6, and 4 is the important part.
Oh, okay.
So Tentacle 10 is a death ray. It targets.
Oh my god.
Civ.
Oh my god.
You need to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
You have advantage from Jim Witted.
You got this. You got this. You're great at these.
Uh, 28.
28 saves. So you take half of 55 necrotic damage.
I would take.
Oh, no, I'm
nothing.
sorry. You take 0 necrotic damage.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
evasion.
0 necrotic damage.
Yeah.
All right. What were the other two numbers that I said? 4 and 6?
Correct.
4 is slowing ray. That will target Ugo. Roll me a dexterity saving throw, please. The third one is 6, which is telekinetic ray. That will target James. James, roll me a strength saving throw, please.
Oh, I'm great at those.
Advantage? No.
Yes. Sorry. Ugo, you have advantage from Hadrian X. James, you have advantage from Kitty Scritches, countered by Grim Faded.
Thank you,
Nat
Kitty
20.
and Grim Faded.
Nat 20 saves.
Nat 20 did. You get +2 on your saves.
Okay, I have 6.
6 does not save. So
Get slow, telekinetic, and what was the first one?
Death.
Death ray.
Yeah.
Do we know which ones are which?
No. I guess you could say, if you could count them off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and just left to right, top to bottom. 10 is the bottom right.
Okay, great. So if we wanted to target specific ones, we could. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
All
right.
So James, you failed. So you are picked up by the telekinetic ray, and you are thrown 30 feet.
Okay.
Which is, let's see, we're gonna go 30 feet. There we go. Go right. Oops. We'll go into that.
Oh.
So as you land in the writhing tentacles, you don't do anything till you start your turn, but you land there with a thump. You are restrained by the telekinesis ray's grip, and yes.
Do I take throwing damage?
It doesn't say. Oh no, the target is less than 300 pounds.
Definitely.
I think you only take
3d6,
right? Yeah. The 1 plus 5 plus 5, so 11 points of bludgeoning as you land on the tentacle.
Oof.
Okay. And
I'll go saved.
I'll go saved. Okay, so Lily, your turn.
Is James grappled by the telekinesis?
Yeah, he's grappled, but he's restrained by the telekinesis. He was lifted off, struggling and writhing, and it threw him 30 feet, and he's still sort of in there's a beam from number 4 eye, which I think is this one.
So I presumably can't get him. Can't touch him. He's.
You could attempt to. Yeah, you could. He's in the throes of a beam, an eye ray.
I guess is it a beam I could go through? Presumably, based on how it looks.
You could walk through it. Yes, you could pass through the ray and not be. It says you are restrained until the creature is incapacitated. So there's no way to wrench him out of it in particular.
But I guess I can see though that it is definitely coming from that eyeball.
Yes.
Okay, so then what Lily's gonna do first, because I think this might have more success, is she's gonna shatter the eyeball.
Do it. Right? Gross, but do it.
Call back to Jeff. Okay.
Oh no! Yikes!
Low blow, Katie. Low blow.
D&D is therapy.
I thought that's what Jeff was referring to earlier when Milo popped the eyeball. I thought he was referring to his own eyeball.
Oh. If anybody has eyeball sensitivity, we're sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Might want to fast forward through this part of the episode.
I have eyeball sensitivity, y'all.
I know, good point.
Okay, so I'm gonna do it at level 3 to see how it reacts to that.
Okay. This is eyeball 4, right?
It's a con
eyeball 4.
Save.
All right.
For that.
Con save.
6 was slow, 10 was death, and 4 was telekinesis.
Hadrian X has given me both advantage and disadvantage, so this is just a straight roll. I rolled a natural 1.
Yes.
That does not save.
Take it.
1 second. Rolling.
Take all of it.
21 points of damage.
21 points of damage. Okay,
Yeah.
so this incredible thunderclap explodes right on top of the eyeball. This one here, and you see it. You see the eyeball squish and ooze out, and then Civ, right next to where you're standing, the oh shoot, I forgot you're standing right there. He could have also bit you because you're next to his mouth.
Is there a force of evil thing that I'm supposed to do?
You do. You need to roll for. You need to roll a con saving throw.
I didn't. I missed that part of the show. So what do I need to do?
So roll a Constitution save.
You cast it at 3rd level.
10 plus 3. So you have advantage on that from Cody rolls 4.
Nice.
Forgot about that, didn't you, Ron?
I did. Yes, I did. I feel like we violated your trust.
So I still get to use my con.
Your con modifier, yes. Con saving modifier.
I only got a 10.
So you take a level of exhaustion,
which means all of your ability checks are at
all
disadvantage.
your ability checks are disadvantage.
Great, cool, awesome. This is when I wanted that to happen.
Perfect.
So the other thing you see, Civ, right next to you is that this monster's face that you're right next to seems to change in a certain way after that. Oh no, it doesn't. Sorry, no, it doesn't. Sorry, never mind.
Face looks exactly the same. Nothing
exactly
changes in the face.
Same face.
Same face.
Way ahead of myself.
Same face.
Same face.
All right.
Does that help? Does that do anything for James or no?
It does not. It does not.
It
But
doesn't
it
flinch.
certainly hurt the eye.
Doesn't have to break. It doesn't have to roll concentration. Okay, good to know. All right, but it definitely hurt it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're up to Ugo's turn.
Is there anything, Lily? Do you want to move at all, or are you good where you are?
Actually, it has a legendary action, so it's going to do that. It's going to do an eye ray.
An eye roll is what it should be called. I'll move myself on here. I think I probably would have moved kind of over here to get it.
I rolled a 2. Which is going to go right at Lily. So you need to roll a Constitution saving throw again.
Oh no! And at disadvantage.
No. You have advantage from Hadrian X, so it'll be a straight roll.
Ability
plus 2 on the roll.
It's a saving throw, which is different than an ability check. So you do not have disadvantage from exhaustion.
Correct.
But you do get plus 2 on the roll for being within 10 feet of Otto. 5 feet.
Okay. So I rolled a 12 plus my 2.
14.
So plus another 2. You're saying so 16.
Yeah.
16 does not save.
Ooh.
So you are paralyzed.
Cool.
Can you use Bardic Inspiration on saves? You can, can't you?
You can, but she didn't inspire herself.
One.
You can't.
I know.
But yes,
I'm just asking
you
for future
should.
reference.
So you set off this incredible this thunder strike of sonic energy that hits this eye. Another eye turns and targets you. A beam emits out of the eye, goes right into you, and you feel your body get stiff. You can't move. You'll be able to repeat your saving throw at the end of each turn. And so that was its.
It doesn't do any damage though. It just stuns.
Correct. It paralyzed you.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Ugo, you're up.
That's bad.
All right, so
Behemoth, you'll be next than James.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 is a bonus action.
Go, buddy.
Go. There. 5, so I have to jump here, I'm guessing?
Yes.
5, 10, 15 should be fine. 20, land there. Attempt to grab the bowl.
Okay. You can
Strength
roll a
check, I
strength
guess?
check.
Okay.
You have advantage from Hadrian X.
Oh, thank you, Hadrian X. And here we go. 11.
Same situation. You try to lift the bowl off this.
You can use the
platform
Bardic
it's on.
Ooh, I could use the Bardic. What is the what's the die on the Bardic?
10.
D10.
D10.
We don't know what the DC is, but
yep, I'll still use it. Might as well. 13.
No, doesn't work. So that brings us to Fahima's turn. Unless you want to use some more movement, I'll go.
No, I think. No, I used my bonus action too, so that's it.
Okay, Fahima, you're up. Then James.
Does Fahima recognize this creature at all?
No.
Does it look similar to anything that she's ever read about or encountered before?
I don't think so. You can do a history check if you want, but I don't think so.
Will that count as my turn if I do that?
Nah,
Okay.
you don't have to. Actually, I'll just tell you.
Okay.
It's not anything from her.
Okay. And these tentacles, there's 10 of them, 12 of
Correct.
them? 1, 2, 3,
10 of them.
10.
Okay. Fahima will walk. Oops, I'm looking at our screen and not the. Here we go. Let's see. 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 50. Oh, it's a dash. Okay. Sorry, I need to think for just a second.
It's okay. You got this.
Should we go to the next person? What do you think?
No, Ogo, can you tell me again what you said to me before we entered the room
I love you.
about the spark?
Oh, yeah. Without. No flame is ever lit without first a spark.
Okay. And she walks forward as close as she can get to the eyeball and looks straight into the pupil. Does she see anything? Recognize anything? Does it respond to her at all?
It certainly is peering at her, as all the eyes seem to be peering at each person as they move. You know, This is all happening. You know, D&D's weird, having turns, but this is all happening at once. You know, a big chaotic battle.
Fema takes out her knife, her dagger, and
Wait, so
she
you
looks-
are, you said 30 feet or here?
yeah.
So you
I didn't move
you're
myself.
here?
Yeah, and Meep is with her.
Okay.
She looks around at everybody and pulls out she has the Ashen Mage book handy on her person still.
Mm-hmm.
And she pulls that out, flips through it. Her hands are shaking as she flips through the pages and puts her finger on the spell and reads it for the first time in a very long time. And pulls out that dagger and slices down both of her arms deeply and casts blood sacrifice and disintegrate on the same turn, centered on herself.
What?
100 points of automatic damage.
Against the monster?
No, against herself.
Okay. 100 points of automatic damage does...
Why?
Does what? On you? How many hit points do you have?
78.
She doesn't even have 100.
No.
All right.
Integrate yourself.
So, let's explain what blood sacrifice is, because I believe it's the first time you've cast it on the show. And
Yeah, I've never heard it.
You got it when the team was not with you in the Ashen Mage's lair. So to explain what blood sacrifice does, Jessica.
Yes. Let me pull it up here. It's a necromancy spell. When you cast this spell, you take necrotic damage equal to 4 times your level, and you can cast another spell on the same turn, and it automatically deals max damage.
Okay. So max damage on disintegrate is 100 points of damage. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Plus, she'll take the necrotic damage of casting.
So you watch Fahima walk across these tentacles that are swirling and writhing underneath her feet. She steps to the center and she pulls out this dagger and cuts deep in her arms, blood gushing over her forearms, down across her arms, down on her belly, on her legs, pooling at her feet. And then she takes the other hand and does the same. And then she leans her head back, and you see blackness in her eyes as she speaks words that sound like wailing, like the cries of something deep and far away, something primal and primordial, something awful.
What are you doing?
And before she completes the spell, she's going to reach towards Meep one last time and say, I love you. Come find me.
It squawks as Fahima casts Disintegrate.
Jeff, do I know she's casting Disintegrate?
I mean, you have had it cast on you before.
Do I know she's targeting herself?
I don't think you would know that.
I need to know. I legitimately need to know. Because I can stop it.
Let's leave it up to the dice. Roll an Arcana check.
Not my strongest skill.
You have advantage from Hadrian X.
I have a +0. I got a 16.
I'll say that you recognize that it is being cast on herself from that, based on the fact that you had seen it 22 years ago. It was cast on you. She stopped it with a counterspell.
Spell attack, correct?
Disintegrate is a spell attack, I believe. Yeah, right? Counts as a spell attack, yeah.
I'm just going to double check because otherwise I can't do this. A creature targeted by the spell, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not a spell attack. They just get a save. Damn. I can't stop it.
So
I was gonna use my rune and
turns,
make it target something else, but
he is enormous, and he starts moving toward Fahima, recognizing that she is inexplicably targeting herself. He calls out as Fahima utters the spell for Disintegrate. An incredible beam of arcane energy erupts out of her and hangs in the air for just a moment, and then pours right into her chest, entering her skin, her hair flying out, her eyes wild, the scream of the spell itself transferring into a scream of pain and agony. Her entire body begins to come apart. Her skin disintegrating molecule by molecule. From the top of her head, her hair falling away, her skull falling away, all of it turning to dust. Her movements coming still as she closes her eyes, as her eyes disintegrate, as her face disintegrates, her neck and torso, her body falling into a heap of dust. Fahima Tig is dead. James, it is your turn. Meep is wailing.
There's no body.
No, you can't
There's
come
a
back
pile
from
of
disintegrate.
dust.
Can't even revivify or resurrect or anything.
Wish is
Yeah.
the only way.
Well, she was the wish.
James is restrained. Okay. Bonus action, far step to Meep.
Oh, you started the beginning of your turn. You started in the tentacles.
Yes.
So you take 27 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
As they pummel you and squeeze you.
Did anything happen after she did that? Like, did that affect the creature at all? Did we notice anything besides just her being gone?
If I teleport, will that break the telekinesis ray?
I'll say yes.
All right. Bonus action, far step to Meep. And I will send three Eldritch Blasts to the big eye, I guess.
All right. You have advantage on the first from Last Cleric of Krypton, countered by Grimfaded.
Okay.
Advantage on the second from Gateway Guy, and advantage on the third from Goofus McDorkle.
Okay, thank you. First is a 15 to hit.
It does not hit.
Second is a 24 to hit.
That hits.
And the third is a 25 to hit.
That hits.
For a total of 14 points of force damage.
Okay. Your Eldritch Blast come ricocheting into the eye. That complete your turn?
Yeah, I will just be standing there next to Meep. And basically kneeling down next to Meep.
You're to the top of the round. And at the top of the round, several creatures fall from the sky. You see, landing on one of the platforms, a werewolf covered in a thick layer of blood. Vargan.
Huh?
Boom. On the other platform, a sickly man, bloated and wounds festering. The Viscount. Boom. In the center platform, an orc covered in steel plating all over his skin. Groligo. Behind, a pirate, the long white beard. And finally, hovering above them all, a demon lord. Wings outstretched. All of them joining the fray. going limp. Thump, 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 thump. Boom, 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 boom. All of the tentacles go limp. And the monster eye at the center of the test, of the trial, fades. And you hear a voice. Greetings! You passed the trial. And that is where we'll end tonight.
What?
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Hima's back on her ish. Nice.
Wow. Okay.
Jeff, are you mad at me?
Am I mad at you? No, I'm not mad at you. It was beautiful. It was a lot. It was beautiful. I wanted to show off all my cool creatures that were going to show up, but
Yeah. So I'm asking.
Wait, and so I'm sorry, all of them, Vargan, Lord of Crows, all of them fell limp?
yes,
All of them.
Mhm.
Not just the tentacles.
correct.
All the monsters
battle
we
is
were
over.
fighting, all the monsters we were fighting all collapsed.
Collapse.
All those creatures would have come into the fight. One by one by one.
So there was no way we were going to win.
That's not true. You did.
Really?
Win. You did win.
You haven't lost a fight yet?
I said
You
there's
did.
no way there's no
You-
way we were going to win without her doing what she did. Right?
I don't know. Are we allowed to talk about it before
No.
this week and next?
No.
All will
No?
be revealed next
Okay.
week.
No.
Yeah, I'm in the
No.
dark and I love
Okay.
it right
Abs-
now.
absolutely
I'm
not.
absolutely in the dark and I
Don't
love it.
say
I mean, like, am I
word.
even coming back next week?
We'll
We
find
will
out
have a
next week,
conversation.
I guess.
I at least want to spectate.
Deal with the consequences of your choices.
I still want the front row box that I have to this show, right?
You'll
here,
still be
because
here, but
Jared
we'll
is
turn
working.
your camera black and white.
And
You
you're
can
on,
just role
you're
play
on
meat
mute.
from now
You're on
on.
mute the
Yeah,
whole
you're on
show.
mute. Yeah.
Sean puts me on mute. I cannot.
you can
unmute
roleplay
myself.
They can draw
It's a great idea.
Fahima half disintegrated, and that's what we'll put up.
Oh my god.
Dark.
Oh my god. That was so dark, guys.
Oh my
All right.
God, it really was.
Well,
Sean muted her.
Wow.
Wow.
Now for something lighter.
Yes,
buddy.
please.
We the show is over, but we are, as I've said, we are only made possible. This show is only possible because we have patrons who are generous and awesome. And the topmost, there's a whole bunch of tiers, as I said at the beginning of the show, that tiers of rewards. And we also got a gold potato. Gary Vox's second gold potato came in right there. So it puts
Thank you, Gary
Team
Vox.
Force of Good
Guy
at
Vox? Yeah.
55%. Did I say what did I say?
Vox?
Yeah,
Gary Vox.
Did I say
Gary
Gary
Vox's Guy Vox's brother, Gary Vox.
Gary Vox. Sorry, Guy. Guy Vox.
Starring in a new ABC special coming this fall.
The Voxes.
So we're about to call it. Right now it's Team Force of Good 55%, Team Force of Evil 45%. Thank you for those two potatoes, Guy Vox. But our patrons, there are the top two tiered patron levels will have the benefit of having their names read out at the end of the show. But we don't just read them out in the boring way. We actually have a really fun thing that we do that I'm trying to stall and find.
As I say, I love Jeff trying to keep it light right now. Well, literally, I'm devastated.
Yeah, my armpits are so sweaty. I need to like immediately put this shirt in a bag to be washed.
Sorry.
Jeff has driven me to drink. I don't know what the rest of that.
I just say,
Yeah.
I'm going to put on mute and get myself another drink. I'll be right back.
We got what did I do with it? Oh boy. We got fun times coming up, guys.
Fun times are coming
There it is.
up
There it is. I
just
found it. I
around
found
the
it. I found it.
corner.
I think
found it.
Jeff
Okay,
should have to
so-
read the Team Force of Good, Team Force of Evil
I got
after today's show.
I need to roll the die.
Yes, roll the die, please.
My wife
these
has given
these
me
are
Thin Mints.
themes that are submitted by our patrons. Then we will read out the names of our topmost tier contributors.
I'm jealous of your Thin Mints.
Viv.
Of course.
Who is
of course.
Viv.
All right. This was submitted by Fectious. This is Team Force of Goods names. Will be read out as an actor's studio interview discussing some of their most noteworthy roles.
Mm-hmm.
Their own noteworthy roles.
Who's going to be
or
James
other
Lipton?
people's?
I can, if you'll allow.
By all means.
Please. Everyone, we are blessed here tonight to be in the presence of Jared Kajak. Jared, I think it was the French.
Thank you, James, for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
I think it was the French interviewer, Sloppy Goats Bakery, who once said, when you look into the eyes of Just Jules, truly, you feel the presence of Hadrian X among you. So I will ask you, when you played the titular role in the film Wilbro Jr., what was that like?
Well, James, that's a great question. I spent 6 months in a small town, village, really,
of course,
in the middle of Africa to train for that role. It was Bikar Par, I believe, was the name of the town.
Fascinating.
Yeah, and I lived amongst the Idakai people that dwelled there. I learned how to become a desert wanderer, and having that clear sense of mind, I was able to really tap into my role as Hyperboy 66.
Hyperboy 66, my favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Yeah. It was a hard mindset to get into. I was physically and emotionally drained, much like the end of this episode. I
and the rest of the audience, I think would feel blessed if you could. May we speak to Hyperboy 66 now?
I don't know. I don't know if I could bring Hyperboy 66.
For people who love Actor Studio, I hope you're getting all of these.
Hyperboy is deep in my subconscious. It would take quite a while for me to. I tell you what, I'll do one of his signature lines.
We would feel blessed, please.
I love kitty scratches.
Of course. An absolutely ground-shaking moment.
My God.
A moment that none will forget, not a dry eye in the house. I believe Fenderil was your co-star on that film. What was it like working with
He was
Fenderil?
nominated for an Angel Devilson after that.
That was, of course, how could we forget? Yeah. You were sadly left off that list, but truly.
I get snubbed constantly. I think it's because I did all of those IR Moo Cow commercials as Hyperboy 66. But it's not fair because, that was in my contract, really. It's not like I, could say no to the Gold family, as they say in the business. You don't say no to that.
I believe it was the director of your next film, Bob Harris, who...
Bobby,
as we affectionately know him here, who said, Jared Kajak as Seraphy was truly the Braba of our time.
That's true. He did say that.
Now, truly, when you played the role of your past decisions in the 89th entry in the Armando franchise, what was it like?
That's how I got my big break.
I mean, truly, who could forget? Well, I think we've all been blessed to be in the presence of Jared K. Jack and of Hyperboy66 this evening.
Thank you.
I will leave it with the final question from the French interviewer, Kitty Scritches, who said, Jared, if God exists and you get to the pearly gates of heaven, what do you want God to say?
I want him to say...
References needed. Sorry.
Sit down. That in the front row, of course. That in the front row, of course, is Hadrian X. That's right. Yes.
Yeah, he follows me around everywhere.
Yeah. No,
James, you're a beautiful man.
Is that it for Force of Evil?
That's what you want God to say?
Yes, that is actually what
that might be my favorite one we've ever done.
That was so good. We can't follow that.
Incredible.
It was
really
such
good.
a deep cut, and I'm sure 75% of our
good.
audience didn't get it.
So
but if you
good.
got it, you got it.
God. Yeah. Oh,
It was
God.
just
Go
so-
watch 5 minutes of an actor's studio and you get
That was
you'll get
pretty
it.
good.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Loved
So our team Force of Evil, roll that one, please.
Yes. I got myself.
Well, let's do somebody else.
As I say, I just ran. I got Civ again. I got myself again. Come on,
Waited.
die.
Dang.
This
This
is
dice
Lily.
is so weighted, and it can't be me because I'm
Straight rerolls. Another reroll. What the heck?
maybe
Fahima.
Fahima.
Okay.
In her
R.I.P.
last moments on the show. we should all be-
Oh,
Jeff.
stop.
This was submitted by Drew from IT.
Like a stab in the heart.
Drew from IT. This is as a student.
Or disintegrating.
As a student called upon by a teacher in class to explain something from homework or reading that they clearly did not do. We got a lot of ones like this. A book report you didn't know, but so it's anything, it's like, you got called on and you got to make a report, but you have no idea what it is. So we got like 3 or 4 of these type of ones.
Yeah, so I am here to present on the book
Could you speak up, please? I can't hear you over the train.
hi. I'm here to present on the book that I definitely read called Marcus Gained a Level. And
Happy birthday, Marcus.
wait, is there a Marcus whose birthday's in this class? Oh yeah, I mean, it's definitely the name of the book that we read. Okay, and it stars the main character of the plot is Forest Elf 86. It's a small elf that bakes cookies inside of trees with a ghost whose name is Student of Grimm. And then there is a wise woman who comes in and says,
Miss Parsons, who was the author of this book?
Play. Corbin played.
Corbin played.
Corbin played. Wrote this
I mean,
book.
that sounds like a name you just made up.
No, it's a real author. And then the next thing that happens in this book that is very long and full of long words that I had to look up in the dictionary is the wise woman says, "Do you think I'm nuts? I see what you're doing. You're being drama piranhas down here, and you need to do."
You called me a drama piranha last week.
Okay, well, I got it from this book.
That tracks.
I was reading
That
it.
tracks. I pick up insults from literature all the time myself.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah,
That's why.
very
Remember when you called me
well read.
Boo Radley?
I'll never forget it.
Oh yeah, and there's also a character named Shiny 8-Bit Boo, so I got that from multiple sources. And then the character. So the moral of the story, the thesis of this book, is that if you go on adventure and you're down to clown, then and you climb every J rock that you come across and you summit, I learned that from the book too, then you will succeed in life And the thing I want to leave you with here is that's wild, man. It's what the main character says all of the time in the book. And
Mr. Johnson, I think
Yes.
I got the wrong book.
this is a really specific book that I got from a library that's not even in this town. So
But mine had a plot.
mine
I
had a
don't-
thesis.
I'm very
the-
fascinated to hear more about this Forest Elf 86 character and its quest to climb the J-Rock. I'll definitely think I'll need to speak to you after class about that.
This is when the book cover slips off of her book and she's holding a comic book and the cover of the actual book on the outside.
Do you have references for this?
Definitely
report?
needed. Definitely needed.
Yeah, I can get it to you by next week.
Hey, that's what that famous actor wanted God to say.
He's so good.
It's good we can laugh after just being like brutally,
Devastated.
savagely
Disintegrated.
devastated.
Disintegrated.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
This is another one of those episodes where I end the episode and I'm like, did I just do a very bad thing? So
Wait,
far?
The fact that
Did you just put a me? Did you just pull a me
Yeah,
in
actually,
Jared's
yes.
game? Is that what has happened?
the fact that you killed every single monster tells me you did something right.
I did say she could kill us all.
I only killed myself.
Yeah, but literally I'm already at half hit points, I'll tell you that. And so, I mean,
I don't know. I can't say anything because the Keeper of Secrets is gonna know.
We're gonna find out next week.
We
better
will
be
find out next
You better
week.
be on the cooldown on Monday, Jessica.
I was going to say, how are we going to do a cooldown? How are we
No,
gonna do a
because
cooldown?
you know what? I told people on my Twitch stream, I'm at such a high risk of Tom Hollanding over here and Morgan Peter Brown as Marvel, and they're gonna find out.
Don't be Tom Holland. Nobody wants that. I mean,
Nobody
other
wants
than
that.
his spectacular.
It's only
Amazing.
cute when Tom Holland does it.
I'm
And
right.
his career and spite,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
His innate charm,
We love
Yeah.
you, Jessica.
good looks.
He's British,
Yeah. All right.
British?
We'll be back next week. Until then,
Wait,
humankind.
what was the Force War? Did we?
Yeah, it was Force of Good won.
Force of
55 to
Force of,
45.
Force of Good did win. Okay, thank you
Yay.
everybody.
Sorry, I
Thank you.
didn't
Bring
hear
back
that either.
one player character.
Yeah. is that a card?
Humankind.
Ebo!
Bebos! Love you.
Mwah.
It started. It started. It started. Started. As a simple dungeon run. As a simple dungeon run.